A lost generation listens intently as radio static gives way to a jazz beat. A beat that begs them to get up and move. To forget the drudgery of the past and just live. To dance with frills flashing. To drink where they can get it. To write, to sing, to create. To create social change, to make a better world for everyone in it. Or just to create a name for themselves and hopefully not have that dragged through the mud. But will our gathered Gatsbys prove their greatness? Will they be well-to-do or better to not? Bohemian like you or just a bunch of dandy arseholes? Well,
very good. Very good.
If you want to know, you can always just ask Jeeves. Find out what's in store for these bright young things as Chaotic Neutral plays Flabbergasted. Before we crack on with the story for this episode, though, we need to thank the sponsor of this episode, which is Flabbergasted, the very game we are playing. Flabbergasted is an ENNIE-nominated ttrpg with a comedic bent set in the Roaring '20s, and it also has a brand new expansion called Mystified available on Backer Kit right now. The expansion adds 3 new archetypes to the game: the Explorer, the Occultist, and the Sleuth, and also gives you a way to incorporate mysteries into your own campaigns. If you want to check it out, follow the link in the video description down below, where you can also get access to buying your own copy of Flabbergasted and some much sought after extra items like DM screens, custom dice, and metal coins for the game. So if you want to check out more about Flabbergasted, click that link in the video description below and back the game if you are interested. Underneath the fading frontage of a slightly dilapidated building sits the Phoenix Club and its logo risen from the ashes, though the H appears to have somewhat worn away. Inside the slightly pokey space is a sort of comfortable lounge area where many members of the club meet, though the club has clearly fallen on hard times. Arranged in the shabby chic Art Deco room are our players, our protagonists. Who do we have arranged? Tegan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Lady Jessica Ashley, the widowed lady of Chatterley Park.
What can you be found doing in the lounge?
Oh, good question. I'm usually reclined on some sort of object table, flirting my way through the day. I'm an heiress to an American automobile fortune. I moved to the United Kingdom to pursue an education, you see, and my parents found me an excellent match in my husband, the late Lord Cuthbert Chatterley. He is, of course, passed away. He died in a tragic badminton accident. You see, the coach that I had hired to make him better hit a serve and smashed it clean through his brain. Ever since I've been left alone with my sickly son, Hubert, who's the bane of my existence, so I like to spend most of my days engaging with my good friends here at the Phoenix Club.
Hubert's gonna kill people.
Hubert's going to kill people. Well, you're not always alone at the Phoenix Club, because there is somebody else who follows you pretty much everywhere. Isn't that right, Tilly?
Yes, I always accompany my mistress everywhere. My name is Lavinia Bennett, and I'm in the employ of Lady Chatterley, and whatever she wants doing, I do it. Even if someone has to get hurt. Maybe with a badminton racket.
Lavinia is also going to kill people. So far, 2 minutes in, 2 murderers. Dom, who else is here?
Well, my name is Willibald Pusk. Yes, I get that reaction quite a lot, actually. But I don't know why.
How do you spell Pusk?
It's P, a bit of a funny word, actually. Pewske. Of course, in Polish, that's probably something more like Pewskie, but it's not a Polish name. Quite interesting, actually, why that is, but I won't go into that now. But anyway, the point is, yes, I'm Willibald Pusk. I dabble in the occult, but my real occupation that makes me the most money is taxidermy to wealthy clientele. tell, which explains sat between us now on this chaise longue, this stuffed badger with a fez, my pride and joy, one of the first animals I ever stuffed successfully, Otterlengi. People have pointed out it would make more sense if it was an otter that I'd stuffed called Otterlengi, but I don't know why I did that. But it is a badger.
Badger-lengi.
An otter would be easier to carry around, but I have this badger, which is why I've grafted him onto this set of wheels. Anyway, so yes, I've been in the club for quite a while. Most of the stuffed animals in this lounge that we're either admiring or sat on, I stuffed myself. I see that some of them have been repurposed. That's fine. I don't mind.
You can see that a fair few of the stuffed animals have actually all just been herded into one corner, slightly behind the sofa.
lovely Dalmatian dog there. Once used to belong to old Mrs. Quentin's. She's long.
Mrs. Quentin's.
Mrs. Quentin's. She's long dead, of course, but you can still see her over there.
Oh, you stuffed her?
Oh, I stuffed her that one time after she died. God.
Also reclining on one of the chairs is a youngish man with quite a soft chin, a bit of a serious overbite and a lot of foppish hair, and he's just saying, "Oh yes, bloody good day. Reggie, would you fetch me a drink?"
Very good, sir. You see, busy from hanging a lampshade on Mrs. Quentin's head in an attempt to disguise her, you see, a tall, thin, mercurial man in coat and tails walking over to the bar to fix his beloved master, Percy Chuffnell, his favourite drink, which is, of course, a mint julep. And he prepares it quietly and without any fuss. But there is a bristling unhappiness emanating from this man.
Oh, I do love a mint julep. It's a bit minty though. It tastes like toothpaste.
You're quite right, sir. Would you prefer a different quantity?
Just less mint in my mint julep, please.
Less mint in your mint julep.
Hop to it,
yes,
please, Reggie.
Duly noted, sir. Very good, sir. Very good, sir. And he walks off and makes another mint julep with less mint.
He makes it exactly the same. He
Yes, you're quite right.
Gives it back to Chuffy, who goes,
right.
"Oh yes, that's perfect. Well done, Reggie. That's why we keep you around."
Just brings him back the same drink.
Yeah, just the exact same one in a circle.
He briefly considers spitting in it, but of course nothing so impure would ever cross Reggie's mind. So yeah, he presents the drink to you again.
And this really is the kind of total of the members of the Phoenix Club, down on its luck though it is. Apart from one man who comes bristling in from a side room, the main office, and this is your club president, Eustace Blowhard. He's ruddy, rounded face, he's got a large smile, slightly twinkling eyes, he's got a posh and booming voice, and he runs up to you, Lady Ashley, first of all, and says, Lady Ashley, we're in a bit of a crisis. You see, we were running the art exhibition later today.
Yes?
Yes, which obviously, thank you very much for funding said art exhibition with your enormous inheritance. However, we've run into a bit of an issue. A large sect of new bohemian artists have appeared, the quadrilateralists. They are an up-and-coming in the art sector. We want them to be patrons of this fair club and hopefully gain some of them as new members. However, there's been a bit of a snafu, and we've accidentally invited the quadrilateralists, the Quadrilateralist Union of Talented Artists, and their lead artist, Definitely Maybe. However, there's a bit of an issue because we've also invited the trapezoidists, the quintessential union of trapezoidists that have ever been recruited, which is Quota. So it's the Quadrilateralist Union of Talented Artists, or Quota, or the quintessential union of trapezoidists ever rallied. Quota. Don't get it confused. But we have both of them coming to the event, and obviously, Definitely Maybe, who is the quadrilateralist, she hates the trapezoidite artist, Doubtfully Maybe, her twin sister.
Are you beginning to wish you'd stayed in America, Mom.
Doesn't it sound like all a bit of a pickle, sweetheart? And he turns, and there's a young man stood to his side with a sort of scraggly ginger mop, freckles up his face. This is Marvin Sweetheart, the club secretary, and he says, "Oh yeah, it's been a real issue, and I'm really sorry, sir, because I made a real error there. Like I know a little bit about art, but the problem with quadrilateralists and trapezoidists, they all look kind of the same." And he's like, "Don't worry about it, sweetheart. We'll all sort out in the wash, won't it? Lady Ashley will fix this problem for us. Now the issue is, the gala is in about an hour. And the two maybes, doubtfully and definitely, cannot know that both of them have been invited to the gala."
Oh dear.
Oh, well, Eustace, I understood every word that you said.
Good, because I'm not explaining it again.
Splendid. Leave this to me. It won't be a problem. This will be the smashing success that we always suspected it would be, because there's a lot of money. A lot of money riding on this.
There's a lot of money in all of the club's reputation. If the maybes catch wind that the quadrilateralists and the trapezoidites are in the same room, we'll never hear the end of it. This club will be going under. And Sweetheart goes, "Yes, I'm really, like I said, I'm really sorry. They just look all the same to me. All the trapezoids and quadrilaterals and parallelograms, they're all rhombuses. They're all basically the same in my book." And he's like, "Don't worry, sweetheart. It'll all be fine."
Yes, calm down, sweetheart. I'm sure this sort of thing happens all the time in modern art. Indeed, I once stuffed a marmoset, and someone thought it was a ferret.
An easy mistake to make.
Reggie clears their. May I make a suggestion? It seems to me the issue that we have here is that of identification. We must make sure that definitely and doubtful don't inadvertently discover each other. May I possibly suggest the possibility of a masked ball? Maybe something to cover their faces so that they do not visually recognise each other. Might that be a solution to our predicament?
It's a bit of an issue because the invites have already gone out, and like I said, the gala's in an hour, so you guys need to hot-foot it over.
We could just hand out masks at the door. I have a whole load of old foxes and rats that need taxidermying, and I could just do the faces.
You're just going to do the faces?
We'll just do the faces. The bodies we could turn into ashtrays.
to clarify, Mr. Puke, you are proposing that we take the visages of deceased animals and transform them through your undeniable talent into face coverings.
That's right. We can take some fox physiognomies and turn them into fox masks. I don't have much else besides foxes and a few big rats. But I mean, if we spend enough time in the garden, we might be able to rustle up a badger or
I could rustle up a badger.
She's awfully good at wrestling up badgers.
Yes.
I mean, I do prefer to kill things that have already died through natural causes, so I'm not too keen on... But of course we could repurpose the things that have already been taxidermied. Not Ottolenghi, my badger, of course, but we could certainly take Mrs.
Ottolenghi would be fantastic. He's got such a big face.
No, Ottolenghi is my precious little man. He's my sweet confidant.
I think perhaps the profile of Mrs. Quentin might preclude her from being a human face that one of our guests wear. But
anyone familiar with Mrs. Quentin's work during her life would, I'm sure, be very proud to wear her face on their face. But maybe you're right, it might be a bit too gruesome having the rest of her body standing there, faceless with a lampshade on.
There are only so many lampshades in the club.
Especially if it gets dark, we have to turn the lights on. It'll be a real mess.
I think so long as it's tastefully done, we'll be okay.
Perhaps some sort of paisley pattern will mask the gore.
The main issue is that you can't let Quota and Quota know that Quota and Quota are there. If the maybes catch on that the other maybe is there because they hate each other with a vicious passion, it'll be the end of this club, it'll be the end of our reputation, and we will have nowhere to hang out anymore and be cool.
May I ask one question, Mr. Blowhard? What is the cause of the tiff between the maybes? Perhaps we could seal this rift, and then there would be no longer an issue.
I don't know. Maybe someone who is at the gala will know more in the art world than I am. Do you know anything, sweetheart? And sweetheart goes, oh no, I'm sorry, sir. I haven't really heard anything about them. When I went to art school, I didn't really find out anything about them. And they sort of came out after the art school. He's like, well, sweetheart, you're useless as ever.
Oh, sweetheart.
And then Blowhard turns to you, Lady Ashley, and says, there is a lot riding on this, as you can imagine. This is the perfect chance to schmooze people from high society, bring them over to our cause. However, we need to keep these two away from each other and make sure that they do not know the quadrilateralists and trapezoidites are in the same room. Is that understood? The benefit we have is that most people, without a discerning eye, can't tell the difference between the two forms of art. So, we could at least ride on that, but the maybes will know at the slightest sight.
This is a dilemma, isn't it?
Absolutely. But as we all know, schmoozing and flirting is my strong suit. Leave this to me.
I could get someone to write a banner with the acronym, because I think they've got the same acronym. So they'll be none the wiser. Miss Bennett, do you think you could write quota on a big old bedsheet and hang it over the door?
Oh, I can't spell, sir.
That's perfect!
As long as I've got something to copy, I can copy it.
Might I assist you, Miss Bennett, if there's any help you require? Unless anyone else has need of me. Chuffy, I would never say that, sorry. Lord Chuffnell, do you have any requirements of me?
I just need another mint julep, please, Reggie.
Right away, sir. Of course.
I can do drinks and you can do spelling if you want.
If that would be okay with you, Lord Chuffnell.
We can swap. I can look after your one. It looks easy.
Lord Chuffnell's.
He has very, very specific but very meetable requirements. I think you're more than up to the task, from what I've seen of your very capable skills.
Right, well, I'll get on the mint julep then.
Okay.
So you go away and you make the mint julep and you come back and you hand it to Chuffy, who tries it and goes, this is bloody fantastic! Reggie, you need to get the recipe for this one.
Very good, sir.
Bloody well done, Lavinia.
He's furious.
You're quite right, sir. I shall go and write quota on a large banner.
The trick is, just put way more alcohol in it than you think you really should, and then they won't notice.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I shall remember that.
And then they're pissed, and then they're not bothered about anything.
Well, I wouldn't use such language, but yes, okay.
All right.
Very good.
So as this is all happening, Blowhard turns to Percy and says, Percy, as a lord, I'll need you to go along as well and move some of the high society, a task that you weren't built for. And Percy's like, oh yes, that'd be wonderful for me. And then Blowhard turns to all of you and says, now, the future of the Phoenix Club rides on this. There is limited time to get everything done before the event starts, and I hear from Sweetheart, both of the maybes will be turning up just 15 minutes apart, so the best bet is to get one of them into a side room. We have 2 exhibition rooms and a main exhibition. The main exhibition will be locked until later in the evening, but the 2 exhibitions will be open. Get one of them in one of those exhibition rooms, and then the other one can come in. They will be expecting a drinks reception and a speech upon their arrival. You have just 15 minutes to deliver drinks reception and a speech and move one of them into the room before the other one arrives. I don't know which one's coming first.
Yes, Lord Sugar. Very good. Well, I have a suggestion. I could, if we need a 15-minute interval in another room, I could do one of my demonological demonstrations if I pop home and get the stuffed... the stuffed GNU. It's only half a GNU, so it'll probably fit in the room fine. But I use it to speak to demons. People find it very interesting. I call it a demonstration. Did you like that, my dear?
I love it.
Good, yeah. Well, I've got more wordplay where that came from. You just hold your breath. Bloody breath. But I'll need someone to come in and help me carry the GNU.
Oh, just got my nails done.
I will gladly assist you, sir.
We might also need a wheelbarrow.
Yes, my uncle works for Kew Gardens, so I will locate a wheelbarrow and provide one in due course.
Do you think that would work? It takes about 15 minutes to demonstrate the demonological.
I think given time is a factor, I think any plan that we have is vastly superior to no plan.
What is the plan? We're going to write quota on a bedsheet, get half a canoe in a wheelbarrow, and...
Put fur heads on everyone's faces.
Yes.
Put the heads of animals on everyone's faces.
May I suggest, sir, that you commence with the creation of the masks while I secure the canoe?
Very good. Here's the keys to my shed.
Thank you.
The address is on the key fob,
Very good,
which,
sir.
as you'll notice, is a rabbit's ear. I'll go to the kitchen when I'm sure there'll be some sharp enough knives that I can start working straight away. Come on then, Mrs. Quentins, and I start.
Okay, so you guys are going to Willibald Puski's house.
I think that's just me.
You're just going, and then where are you going?
I'm going to go into the kitchen of the club. And
You're going
start,
into the kitchen of the club. Okay.
carving up these animals.
Right, so you have 1 hour to achieve all of this. What are you guys going to be doing?
How much money have you put in this, my lady?
I'm afraid to admit that I found out earlier this morning my late husband, Lord Cuthbert Ashley, has sunk all of my fortune into this club, and if it doesn't succeed, that means I can't live the lavish lifestyle I've become accustomed to. How am I gonna go to Monaco to meet my suitors?
Well, I suppose you could sell one of your million jewels or...
Take that back. I'm going to go sit out in the car and rev it 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 until I feel better while I watch the man walk with his wheelbarrow down the road to the shed.
You do that, my lady. I think he likes you.
Everyone likes me.
I know, my lady. I'll go and find that bed sheet.
Okay, so Lady Ashley is going to sit in her car and rev it and rev it and rev it and rev it.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
You're going to the kitchen, so let's go to the kitchen first.
Yeah.
Let's have our first roll of the game. Now, this is to see how quickly you can begin carving up these animal faces. Maybe we'll do it in terms of how well you can make them seem like they're not animal faces, so other people might want to put them on their faces.
Yes.
So this will be a creativity and passion roll. In Flabbergasted, each character, one of the archetypes, has 4 major stats. They've got bravado and persuasion, they've got culture and etiquette, wit and sharp, and creativity and passion. When asking for a roll, the director, which is me, will ask the protagonist to use one of their stats. You have different coloured blocks filled out on your character sheet. That's the number of d6s you get to roll. If you roll a 5 or a 6 on any of the d6s, that's success.
Great. All right. So I've got 2 for creativity and passion. I'm sure that's highly competent. So many other boxes I could have had. Never mind. I'm sure it's good odds. So I want a 5 and a 6, or a 6. That's a 3 and a 4.
A 3 and a 4. You do manage to start carving up the faces. You grab a few of the taxidermies from that corner where they've been shoved behind the sofa. You drag them into the kitchen. You pick a knife that's maybe a little bit too blunt for the job, and you begin to hack away at his face. You manage to get maybe 5 or 6 masks done in 10 minutes, ripping them off. All the edges are frayed. There's definitely still bits of kind of viscera on the underside of them as you begin to thread. I'm assuming you're going to thread like little strings around them, or you're going to have them on little sticks.
A combination, I think.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of knives
So
and
a couple
forks,
of
just
gloves.
wedged in.
Pickled onion forks and jab them in. Perfect. Oh yes, wonders.
So you spend your hour basically working on this.
Yeah.
You do manage to make enough masks for the entire party. However, the quality of them means some people might turn them down, shall we say.
Yeah, some of them I've had to use, instead of just using the eyes, because there aren't enough, I've had to repurpose mouths and things. So it's just sort of like a
sort of egret's beak open with little eyes coming out of it.
right. Or a badger's maw.
Yeah. There's one that's just like 4 pigeons strung together.
Quickly becoming a satanic cult.
He is playing an occultist.
That's
so,
true.
you know.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Lavinia. You are going to be using creativity and passion as well to write out your banner on a bedsheet. So you make your way up to one of the lodgings that are above the club. You grab the nearest bedsheet, turfing out the person currently using it, as you do, and run straight back downstairs. What are you going to be using for paint?
Oh, what would we have? There's probably, like, fancy quills in that, isn't there?
A fancy quill, you can try, but it might take a very long time.
What else could I use? I'm going to run in and see you in the kitchen.
Oh, hello, my dear. You just caught me grafting this wood pigeon's mouth onto a fox's eye hole.
Why?
I've suddenly got a bit creative, you see. I was just going to just do them as they are, but I think it becomes a bit too obvious they're all foxes. Most of them are foxes. So I thought I'd make some interesting combinations.
She's just like totally fixated on the hacking. I was just going to ask you, my lord, if there was any spare blood.
These are all quite dry, I'm afraid. But I suppose if I wring out a couple of the fresher pigeons, they might supply you with a few droplets of. Why are you looking for blood?
Oh, it was for my lady. I've got to write. What's the name of the thing? Quatza on a bedsheet.
Quokka.
Quetzalcoatl. Did you say Quetzalcoatl?
Queens of the Stone Age or something. I don't know. I've got to write it on a bedsheet.
Oh, you're writing the acronym.
Yes.
Very good. Well, I suppose blood.
Can you help me spell it?
Yes,
All right.
indeed I can. And I'm sure we've probably got something better than blood. And if not, well, we'll have to find some more blood.
Okay. What else could we use?
Must be a bit of paint around here somewhere.
Paint.
Let's have a wit and sharp roll from
Willibald Pusk.
Master Pusk.
Oh, please. Only my father called me that.
What should I call you, sir?
Oh, just Willie's fine. That's a 4 and a 1.
I wouldn't dream of just calling you Willie, sir. It would be unbecoming of me as a woman. I am a woman, you know.
Well,
I'm not just a servant.
No. Well, no. Don't
I've got hot blood running through me.
Don't get me wrong. I don't have any sort of classist agenda. I'm just, unfortunately.
You seem very classy to me, sir.
Oh, thank you. But I'm just unfortunately rich. Uncomfortably rich. Yes.
And you feel guilty about that, do you?
No. Well, yes, because I don't have a proper job. But that's not the point. The point is...
Guilty enough to maybe give me something, seeing as my lady's probably about to be ruined?
Yes, why don't you take this lovely mask of a ferret crossed with, I think that's a baboon's chin. The faboon.
You know,
ferret.
sir, it's almost too beautiful. I wouldn't want to deprive someone else of the opportunity to wear it.
Do you know the power of the mask is that when you put it on, it possesses you somewhat?
What happens to you?
Oh, potent one, this. Yes, must be careful. You familiar with the occult?
What do you call me?
No, please. I feel like there's not much I can say that doesn't cause offence. What did you want again? You wanted me to write
Yeah. So on your, what did you roll?
a 4 and a 1.
A 4 and a 1.
I wanted you to do my job for me.
On that 4 and a 1, you've spent a lot of the time talking about the mask and the occult. You actually spent a little bit more time with the mask on being the faboon.
I'm beginning to realise that this guy isn't really going to help.
However, in being the faboon, you were smashing around the kitchen, hitting a few different things. You hit a couple of those little pigeons, and some blood has splattered out onto the table. But that does appear to be the only viscous liquid knocking around.
I'm going to go and see the head of the club dude. I can't remember what his name was.
Blowhard.
Eustace Blowhard.
I think your idea about the paint was a good one. I'll go and see Mr. Blowhard, see if he has any paints or anything to us.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And if you need help with the spelling, I'll be here.
No, I'm all right, thank you, Master Puce. Goodbye.
So you walk out into the club lounge, and Blowhard is there talking to Sweetheart. He's just like, I just can't believe you've made this bloody mistake, Sweetheart. What a nincompoop you are. He's, oh, I'm really sorry, sir. I tried my best, but it's a lot to take on the running of the club, and we're down on hard times and all this. Like, oh, Sweetheart. What are we ever going to do with you, Sweetheart? Oh, Miss Lavinia. What can I do for you?
I curtsy. I was just wondering if you had any paint, sirs, that I might use to make the Quatza bedsheet.
The Quatza bedsheet. Do I have any paints? I'm not really an artistic type. Maybe, Sweetheart, are you into painting? And Sweetheart turns around and he's like, oh yeah, I've got a couple of paints in my bag, if you wouldn't mind. I'll get them really quickly for you. And he runs off and he comes back with a couple of a few paints and a well-loved palette.
May I borrow this, sir?
Oh yeah, you can have it as much as you need, as long as it fixes the problem we have.
Oh, I'll try. I don't know if a bedsheet can really do that.
Well, it sounds like a good plan to me. It's better than anything I could have come up with.
I'm gonna go outside and start trying to spell.
Okay, we will come back to you spelling, and we will move on to Reggie, who is taking a wheelbarrow down the road to. How far away from the club do you think you live?
Where is the club?
Round the corner.
The club is in the centre of the town, which is called Peccadillo. It is kind of akin to central London.
Okay.
So yeah, you probably have a little ways to go to get to a residential area. However, as you're quite wealthy, I'd imagine you live somewhere like, the equivalent to Russell Square from Tottenham Court Road kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not too far. It's definitely walking distance, but it could take you a while. So we need to be quick on the.
Yeah. And is your wheelbarrow that's in the shed?
Yes.
With the GNU?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in a shared garden space. At the back of the terrace. You know the sort of thing.
Of course, sir. I will hail a cab if possible.
Okay.
To get there.
Let's just do
Rapidly.
a bravado and persuasion roll, please.
Okay. Two.
Let's see how domineering you can be to a taxi.
It's a 4 and a 5.
Yeah. 4 and a 5.
Stop that car!
Yeah, you walk to the edge of the road and you just put your hand out and the taxi immediately pulls up.
Yeah, I'm used to seeing fancy people do this, and so I've learned how to mimic them.
Yeah. So the taxi pulls up, there's a driver and a little flat cap, and he's like, where to then, Gav?
Good evening. Could you please take me at your earliest convenience to the name of your house?
Salamander Gardens.
Oh,
Salamander Gardens.
Yes, Salamander Gardens. I know the one really well. It's just off Gecko Pass, isn't it?
That's the very same.
It's just past Skink Close.
Sharp as you like,
oh yeah,
yes.
Bloody hell. Whoop. Anyway, yeah.
Knowledge.
I don't think he's got the knowledge. He's clearly done the knowledge.
The cold-blooded knowledge.
He drives you around to Salamander Gardens pretty quickly.
Thank you, kind sir. Would you mind waiting? Oh no. Would there be room in a wheelbarrow in the hansom cab for a wheelbarrow full of GNU?
I mean, you could try.
Hansom cab is like are these like horse-drawn carriages?
No, this is a motor car.
Oh, it's a motor car. Okay. I'm feeling like I'm not going to be able to fit a wheelbarrow in the back of a motor car, am I?
Yeah. So the wheelbarrow you're picking up from here. I mean, you can ask him to wait and see what happens.
Would you mind awfully giving me 5 minutes of your time? There's a handsome tip in it for you.
Yeah, well, if you sing me a couple of bob, no problem.
All right, I'll be right back. And so I make my way into your house, which I presume is like a nice. Is it like a large terraced house? We're saying in a kind of close?
Yeah, it's an apartment in like it's closed off.
Crescents.
Like the shared garden is around the back of this sort of terrace that's all closed off, and I'm in one of the third floor apartments in there.
Okay. But you've told me the shed is in the garden.
It is.
It's
shared
shared
garden.
Yeah. So as you sort of make your way, you let yourself into the ground floor of the building. You make your way through the kind of shared hallway out to the back. And you can see that there is steps down, and then there's like a kind of ringed road running around here as all the terraces all share this communal garden. And there's a fence with the garden in. The garden itself is shaped like it's kind of lizard shaped with a broken off tail. There's a little curl on it of just like grass growing on one side, and then there's a shed just in the middle.
So I've come through the house, and I'm now looking. What am I looking at?
So you've come through the house, and you're now in basically like a close or like a sheltered courtyard almost, with its own little garden on the inside.
The garden's in the middle of the courtyard.
Yeah,
got it.
shared by all of the buildings in this square.
Great. Okay. So, and is it fenced, the garden?
The garden is fenced, but you have the key.
Okay. All right. Yes, I'm going to let myself in and approach the shed. Approach your imposing shed.
Okay, well the shed it's pretty large, and you can see that there's like kind of bits of fluff and fur sticking out from like behind the door through all the little gaps and things. It's locked, but you again have the key here, so you unlock it pretty readily, and this, as you do, this kind of smell hits you. This smell of kind of formaldehyde first of all.
Suddenly I'm back in the trenches.
And then there's this undertone of death and rot.
Yeah, and I think
some of these creatures in here may not be as well taxidermized as the others.
Yeah, I think suddenly World War I, all his PTSD rears its ugly head. But this is a comedy game, so I won't talk about that. Okay, so he takes a deep breath, closes his eyes, and so is this room just full of taxidermy?
Yep, so as the smell hits you, first of all, you take this step back as you're suddenly back in the trenches, and then you snap to, and all you can see are these piled up different animals. There's another badger there, but it's slightly more worn and battered. There is an otter balancing on top. There's a little red squirrel holding a grey squirrel in a little tango. There's all sorts of stuff just all piled higgledy-piggledy in this shed. You can't see a way in which a person could work in this. This is just all stuff being stored.
And the otter has a little tag attached to it, and it's called Nottelengi.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Not a lengi. You want to find specifically
a gnu.
You want a gnu. Okay. Shall we do?
What is
What
a gnu? What is a gnu?
Isn't it like an ostrich type of bird?
It's a boat, isn't it?
Is it like a yak?
Oh, is it a yak?
Is it like a yak?
I thought it was like it's like a half a wild cat with the head of an eagle.
Yeah,
That is definitely in there.
A canoe's
sounds
pretty
like.
yacky. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so big.
They're massive, yeah.
But this is half a canoe.
What do they look like?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Is it front half or back half?
Front half.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another guy who's got the back half for the pantomimes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do a roll here, I think, to see how quickly you can find this gnu under all of this stuff.
Okay.
What is the best one to use here? It's probably wit and sharp.
Oh, hell yeah. Got 3 on that.
ooh.
All right, takes a deep breath.
So 3d6, we're just looking for a 5 or 6.
Come on, Roberts. You can do this. That is a 4, and a 3.
4, a 4,
Oh, dear.
and a 3.
Beefs it.
He beats it hard. He can
So
it.
you reach in to start making your way through this pile of various animals. You grab, first of all, the little red squirrel dancing with the grey squirrel. Unfortunately, it seems to be load-bearing. And as you pull, all of the other taxidermized animals begin to spill out on
That's
top of
good.
you, and you are being flooded by these things as they roll over your body.
Like being back in the trenches.
There's this really kind of close smell and feeling as you've got kind of like fluff and fur getting into your mouth. You can,
Oh, it's
you can-
really bad.
So you do eventually make your way out from underneath all of these animals, and you can see that kind of as they've all fallen, they've revealed this majestic gnu stood at the back of the shed. But you have wasted a fair bit of time here.
Okay. And I assume the wheelbarrow's in the shed as well.
The wheelbarrow is in the shed, hung up on the wall
Okay,
at the
great.
back.
So I'm gonna scoop up the gnu. And I'm going to pile in a few extra animals in case we need a few more masks.
Good idea.
I'm going to bring Nottelengi, and I'm going to bring the little squirrels. And I'm going to, as quickly as possible, like at a brisk pace, make my way out of the shed.
Brisk pace, let's have a bravado and persuasion roll. to
I'm not
see
very good at that.
how your strength does.
That's a 4 and a 4.
That's a fail.
I keep spilling
yeah.
squirrels.
In Flabbergasted, there's a thing called failing forward, which means that if you do fail a roll, generally speaking, something happens that's not ideal, but we still keep the story moving forward. The other thing you could do to succeed immediately is use one of your scene cues. Scene cues are a once per session ability. Each character has 4 of them. If you use one, you can forego doing a roll to use an ability that will basically make the thing happen in a way that is reflective of the flavor text of the scene cue.
All of these are to do with interacting with people.
Well, then we're going to say that you do eventually manage to get all of the animals back out to the cab. You have a bit of trouble on the stairs going up, first of all, as the squirrels and otters get left behind. And on the way back down, a few of the rats begin to spill out onto the street. There's a brief moment in which some of the people walking by do think they're real rats, and they do start to cause a sort of localised panic, but you manage to scoop them back into the wheelbarrow, and then you make your way to the cab, where the driver's like, are you able to bring all that in here then?
Well, now I had a thought. Would you be agreeable to the idea of simply me attaching this to the rear of your carriage, and so they don't need to ever exist within the carriage yourself, and you could simply think of it as a second hansom cab behind the first, so that I may carry my cargo to where it needs to go. How do you think about that?
You want me to drag it?
Well, I suppose that is one way of putting it, yes.
Oh, and how much are you paying me for that?
Let's say, how about, I'm rather light right now, but how about you scratch my back, as they say, I scratch yours.
Okay, so this is a bravado and persuasion roll, because you're not going to pay him, are you?
Well, so I suppose what I'm pitching is that I would owe him a favour. Is that a thing?
Owe him a favour, but I think we'd have to make a roll here
to
persuade him of that fact.
Okay.
Because you've not done him a favour yet.
Yes.
So.
I am a member of the prestigious Phoenix Club, and we would be greatly in your debt, good sir, if you were to help me in this brief task.
Oh yeah, I know the Phoenix Club. What's the motto of that place?
It is...
Was it arses to arses?
No, it is rise from the ashes.
Ah!
And he's a commonly held
You've got an
mistake.
H problem, or a H problem.
We do, that's quite
Depends
right.
on which bit of London I'm from.
Yep. Yes, my good friend. So I have the rope, you have the handsome carriage. How about we make a deal?
Okay, let's have a roll.
All right, so that is a...
Bravado and persuasion.
Ooh, I've only got a 2. That's a 6!
Yay!
6 and a 2!
Okay, he's like, well, you seem like a guy in with prestigious gentlemen and women. Then I'm very keen on that. So yeah, if you get me a free membership to your club, something like that.
I dare say that can be arranged.
All right, well, I'm not very good at rigging stuff, so if you want to rig that to the back, then we can get going. It's going to be a creativity and passion roll.
Oh, I've got a 1 for that. What, to tie a rope?
It's a wheelbarrow full of things. This hinges on basically how many.
Can I have a little blow on the dice?
How many of these things are you going to lose along the way, John?
Coughing, horrible. Come on, sweet lady 6.
Yes! That's why it's Lord of the Board, baby!
Yeah, baby, Lord of the Board. Yeah, Tom, Lord of the Board. Anything to say?
Well, you obviously cheated.
These loaded dice.
These dice all have 6s on them.
All right. Well, on that 6, you managed to. You've taken a rope with you from the shed, cleverly to tie the thing to, but you've got another second rope, and you begin to bind all of the animals in this wheelbarrow to the wheelbarrow itself, and you end up fairly secure. And you sit in the cab, and you're about to head back to the club. However, we're going to jump back to Lavinia, who is painting the sign.
Okay.
In fact, before we do that, let's hear from Lady Ashley. What's Lady Ashley up to?
I am sitting in my beautiful, long, ivory white Rolls Royce Phantom. Only one of them ever made. That's why you've never heard of this car. And I put my keys in the ignition. Is it a faboon? When I'm parked just in the front of, there's like that garden around the fountain area in front of the club. Just revving.
Gravel flying everywhere.
Gravel flying behind me. And I take off and I start doing donuts around the fountain again and again. Just trying, this is how I think. I'm an automobile fortune heiress. I need my car. This gravel spitting, pelting the windows of the place, hitting various topiary, knocking down all the landscaping that we've done, wondering where this handsome servant boy is, gallivanting off to Salamander Gardens on foot.
Let's see how much of the topiary you're knocking over. Give me a wit and sharp to see how good you are at driving.
Oh, I've got 3 for wit and sharp.
This club's going down in flames.
I've got a 6, a 3, and a 2.
Okay, well, a 6 is a success. What are you trying to do while driving? Are you trying to knock over the topiary, or are you trying to avoid it?
I'm thinking, and And this is my way to think. And while striving, I am actively trying to destroy things as well, because that helps me think.
You managed to do that. You're spinning the car around the front of the club. The club obviously has a fountain out the front that is a huge phoenix bursting out from the ashes.
Yeah.
That's why it was named the Phoenix Club, because it's on this specific roundabout. You are spinning the wheels of the car as it revs around the thing. The traffic has just stopped and is just watching you do this. People in their cars just
admiring.
Just waiting. And you managed to hit every single arranged bit of flora and topiary on the way, and most of the pots that you smash fly across the little square, and they embed themselves in the wall of your social clubhouse.
Nailed it. Right, my mind is clear. The garden looks exactly how I want it to do. Now I feel confident enough to host these artists.
As you're revving the engine and flying around, you see Marvin's sweetheart come out with a little broom and a little dustpan, and he just begins sweeping up with a kind of resignation of someone who does this most days. Let's hop back over to Lavinia and find out how good you are at writing this sign.
Can I see this happening?
You can hear it happening from inside.
Oh, fucking hell, there she goes again.
Right, what is this?
This is going to be a creativity and passion
Yes, I thought
roll.
so. Shake
What have you
it.
got? What's your stat?
I get a 3.
You got 3.
So 3 dice gonna get rolled. Flop era.
So you no 5s or 6s.
Nope. 4,
Okay.
3 and a 3.
You've got the paints from Sweetheart.
Yeah, I think what happens is I'm so distracted by the revving outside that I'm just like, oh, fucking hell, this is a fucking disaster. I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah, it's painting very nicely, first of all.
Yeah.
You remember it's Q, and then it's U for union, and it's O for of, and then it's T for, what was it, either talented or trapezoidists, and then it's A, isn't it, for alliance. Then it's E, isn't it, for ever, and then it's R for, was it something? It's R for something. You've written quota, but with a couple of extra letters. Bridging. You've sort of ended up smushing both acronyms together into one.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. I'm going to look for some stuff to nick. And I'm just going to start going around the club and seeing what is valuable that I can take and stash somewhere, because I know this is going to be a huge disaster.
All right, let's have a culture and
And I'm not
etiquette
getting out of
roll.
this for nothing.
Culture and etiquette roll to identify the most valuable items.
This is a 1 dice situation, so let's go.
Good luck.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
I don't know what's good.
So you have a scout of the.
Oh, can I use my scene?
You can.
I could speak to Sweetheart
Yep.
and maybe just engage him in seemingly benign conversation about, hello, Sweetheart, I finished the, thank you so much for your paints. I'm just giving
Thank you, Miss
paints
Bennett.
back.
Did you get everything you needed to do?
I think so. I mean, I'm not the best speller, but I think I managed it.
Oh, I'm sure you did a wonderful job.
Thanks.
Better than I did booking the event anyway.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. I think you've done a great job.
Oh,
And I think the club looks really nice as well. I think everyone will be really impressed.
oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of work.
yeah.
It's been a lot
Have
of
you
work.
chosen a lot of the artwork and the sort of...
No, I didn't. We inherited a lot of the artwork from Lord Ashley. He donated a lot of his personal collection to the
Yeah.
club many years ago. There's obviously a few different paintings over here that are from a couple of the famous artists. There's
Oh, really? What famous
Yeah.
artists?
Picasso. It's Picasso.
Picasso,
Pablo
yeah.
Picasso.
I've heard of him.
Picasso.
Picasso.
Picasso, yeah. Yeah.
Picasso.
Fablo Picasso.
Pablo Picasso.
So he points you in the direction of a couple of paintings. They're quite large on the wall.
Oh, they better be.
He's also like,
Picasso's.
yeah, Picasso has a style. He's got a fascination, shall we say. There's a lot of nudes that he's drawn. He says that those, you get kind of the sense from Marvin Sweetheart that those are maybe the most valuable things in the club. That was using your guiding hand scene cue, correct? Which is going to add to your scandal.
Oh.
So dignity and scandal are something that you can track in Flabbergasted for your archetypes and your protagonists. they affect the ways in which other people within the game, the NPCs, will react to them. If you have a lot of dignity, people will come to you and think you're well respected. If you have a lot of scandal, people might not want to talk to you or be seen talking to you, because that could affect their own social standing. If you manage to max out either of those two stats, you may well be invited to join a secret society.
Oh.
Okay, so you've identified some of the most valuable objects. He's obviously pointed at a few other bits and bobs. There's a couple of designer lamps and things like that knocking around that might be easy to take, but they are worth less overall. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna muse on it for now.
Okay.
See if I can rope someone in maybe later on.
Let's hop back to the kitchen and catch up with Williber.
Well, I hope these masks are so convincing. I hope they don't fall into the wrong hands and get used as some sort of disguise for thievery shenanigans. But that said, you know, Willibald, this could all go south. What will you and Ottolenghi do then? And my wife, of course. My darling wife, who I love. But she's away in South America at the moment with her Brazilian bodyguard. And she constantly writes letters to me about how big and strong he is to reassure me that she's very safe. So I don't need to worry about my wife too much. No, but I do need to worry about Ottolenghi. Who's going to maintain him and his wheels? And when am I going to get these squeaky shoes replaced? No, I should maybe... I'll put a badger mask on. Maybe I should use my opportunity to disguise myself as a badger and see what valuables I could purloin for myself. You never know when you're going to need to fall on some insurance in the occult business, and the taxidermy business, and the getting involved in social clubs business. And what's the point of a social club if you don't occasionally use it as some sort of grand grift?
So what are you doing?
I'm saying all this out loud.
Law jumping. Yeah.
Saying
Here's my backstory.
Here's my backstory and my plot, because I'm not sure we're going to get enough patrons for a campaign. So this is the best character I've ever made.
We're going to get 1,000.
So I put my badger mask on and I start having a look around, seeing if there's anything in this kitchen I could steal.
Okay, so I'm going to have you roll creativity and passion to see how well your disguise works, but you're a man wearing a badger mask, but you're also one of the only people still in the club at this exact moment because Marvin's outside.
Actually, no, I tell you what I'll do.
Yep.
I'll wait, because there are going to be so many people here later. I'll wait for the perfect moment to put my hand in someone's pocket. I'm quite good at it, actually. People don't expect it of me, but because I'm such an honest person. So what I'm going to do instead...
And you're rich.
I'm stinking rich. It's all nicked. I'm going to go and check out the room that we're going to do the demonstration in.
Okay, well, this is actually off-site, so you guys are going to have to travel from the social club to a different location for the exhibition, which has already been set up.
I thought it was in the club.
No. So this is why you've got limited time.
Oh, shit.
I see.
In that case, I best bag up these masks. My main problem is these squeaky shoes. I've got terribly squeaky shoes. I haven't foreshadowed this.
Has this
at all.
been established?
No.
Is this your dilemma all along?
now,
Is your
yeah.
squeaky
It is my
shoes?
dilemma all along. Yes, in fact, while I'm mulling over this idea of stealing from people, I'm trying on the badger mask and I walk around the kitchen for a bit. All I can hear is oh, rats! Those squeaky shoes! This is going to undo me completely. I'm not going to be able to sneak up on anyone with these squeaky shoes. I should have got these sorted 2 years ago. 2 years I've been putting up with this squeakiness. Oh, Ottolenghi, what are we going to do?
So you're going to try and fix your squeaky shoes. So you can do some thievery when you get to the event.
Why fix when I can simply swap? No, I'm going to take my shoes off and I'm going to swap them with the shoes on the body of Mrs. Quentin's. Similar feet to mine.
She's got quite large feet, Mrs. Quentin's.
Similar height to me.
She's sort of been propped up in kind of beige heels. Like she's,
Oh, that'd be good for subtle sneaking some high heels.
let's have a wit and sharp roll to see if anyone notices you doing this.
Come on then. Hope no one catches me doing this. They might think I'm some sort of pervert, when actually I'm just a man with squeaky shoes and impeccable taste. A 5 and a 5.
A 5 and a 5. So you managed to sidle up, despite every step you stop for a second just to make sure that nobody's watching.
So weird.
You get within range of Mrs. Quentin.
You're sticking up on the corpse.
Because he doesn't want anyone else at the club to notice that he's trading shoes with beloved Mrs. Quentin's, of course. So he sneaks all the way over, and you manage to you slide each shoe off, which you could have done probably to walk across the thing, but you didn't think of that at the time. And you then make the really quick swap and slip into the heels.
I don't think anybody's noticed.
And then you clack away with really dainty steps across the floor.
So Mrs. Quentin's wearing your pig shoes now.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to hop back over here because we need to get you back to the social club so you can all head off to the exhibition.
So I'm bringing the wheelbarrow back to the social club and then we're all going to travel together.
Or you could go straight to the exhibition if you want to.
I feel like I have to, right? If I've got a wheelbarrow full of animals.
Yeah.
Right? That makes sense. I'd love to hang out with you guys, but I think I should probably logically just go straight there.
Okay, well, you know that you were told by Blowhard that the event will be taking place at a brand new venue called 6 Feet Under, which is repurposed set of crypts that have been turned crypts that have been turned into an art gallery. They're ancient crypts under the city of Peccadillo, and they have been turned into a brand new art gallery.
I don't care for this one bit, Lawrence. That's new information, isn't it? All right. I bring the animal carcasses to the crypt.
That's the perfect venue for demonology.
Yeah, excellent. Can't wait. Nothing will go wrong.
Okay.
A culture and etiquette roll. This is to keep your taxi driver focused on the journey as he's just rattling off various different place names, road names. He's a bit touchy on certain subjects, as you would imagine a cab driver is. You're just trying to keep him focused and driving as quickly as possible.
Okay. And I feel like I'm used to dealing with blowhards who talk a lot, so I'm kind of give them just enough information to say that I'm listening, whilst not encouraging further discussion. But it's a 6. Yes,
it's a
2, a 4, and a 6.
So there's a couple of times where matey's going like, I used to work down there back in the day. I used to work at a bakery in the mornings. And then I used to go, and over there. And then he's sort of sitting there and he's lounging about. He's missed a couple of green lights on the roads. And then eventually you manage to just bring him back into focus and say,
I think very occasionally. So he's driving a car, right?
He's driving a car.
Maybe very occasionally I just reach over and slightly adjust the wheel or do an indicator or something. I'm side seat driving.
Yeah, you're just pointing out that, you can go there and all that kind of stuff. And you managed to make really good time getting to the location.
To the crypt.
How are you guys getting to 6 Feet Under?
So I'm in the garden, extremely impatient. I've done all my revving. All my ideas are sitting like at the front of my brain. I need to get us there now. So I started laying on the horn. Bennett! Pusk! Bennett! Pusk! Get in the car!
Miss Bennett, I think Lady Chatelain wishes us to get in her motor car now. I think it's time to get moving.
Yes, I've heard.
So you guys gather up all the masks
I don't suppose you could help me carry some of these corpse masks.
Yeah.
Miss Bennett?
Yes.
Gather up a few little kitten faces and your little kitten heels and you begin to trot off to the car.
Gravel's murder in these heels.
I mean, my normal shoes.
My normal shoes. I mean, Mrs. Quentin's. I'm absolutely flabbergasted.
The sound of and the suicide doors on my Rolls Royce.
Suicide doors?
Phantom, yeah.
What is that?
Pop up.
The wings.
Is
that what they're called?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it's like DeLorean doors that come out.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, on my Rolls Royce Phantom.
Those definitely existed.
Yeah, they've been invented.
Yeah.
1920 in an imaginary city with a little bit of steampunk thrown in. So
There we go.
That totally exists.
Get in. Throw those masks. You run over here in your cute little shoes and Bennett, haul your ass into this car right now.
How carefully are you storing all the masks?
I would like to store them as carefully as is possible.
Oh, well, we'll have a creativity and passion roll then, please.
Can I do something at the same time he's doing
You certainly can. What would you like
Can
to do?
I try and hide one of the designer lamps in the thing of masks, please?
Yep, you can. Give me a wit and sharp, please.
Come on now. Oh, sixes, double sixes. Double sixes.
5?
Yes.
A 5. Okay, so trunk goes on the car and you guys begin to stack all these masks in and all the various other bits that you're bringing along with you. You manage to lay them all out in a way that they're not knocking each other or going to be ripped up. You manage to package them quite nicely. You manage to take a few tea towels and bits from the kitchen to layer in there that's going to keep them. And you just jam this lamp that you've swiped on the way out in amongst all of the things at the bottom of it. you're going to start driving. Just before you do, Marvin's sweetheart runs out and says, "Oh, Lady Ashley, can I come with you, please? We need to get there really quick, and Blowhard's is taking ages."
Oh, you want to come with us, hey, sweetheart? You want to ride in my Rolls Royce Phantom?
It's not about riding in the Rolls Royce Phantom. No, I'm sure it'll be finer than I've ever ridden in my life before.
I pull out a bottle of gin from my fur coat, twist the top off, take a swig, put the rest in the dashboard, which immediately feeds into the engine. Rev on it, flames come out the back.
Rev on it. Revving that car.
Like Ghost Rider.
I don't mean to worry you, Lady Chatterley, but there's a man with a twizzly moustache and a dog that chuckles a lot chasing us.
Oh my god, I so
Quick,
nearly
deploy.
did wacky races.
Deploy the oil slick, quickly.
And then I turn to sweetheart,
Seems awfully cross about that pigeon.
wink, get in.
Looks pretty perturbed by that show of you swigging some gin before driving. He's like, "Well, I hope it helps you keep focus."
I was going to say in the 20s they wouldn't have blinked
Oh, yeah.
twice, right? Love a bit of drinking and driving. No
It
seatbelts.
helps lubricate my eyeballs so I see the road better.
Oh, yeah.
Are you drinking through the eyes?
Yeah, I drink gin.
A couple of shots in the eye. Oh
Good old
my
gin
god!
blindness.
What a fucking baller!
Really helps you.
Marvin,
You really do know fuck all about cars.
Marvin Sack. The Rolls Royce Phantom was one of the first cars ever created with bike handles on the inside. The driver of the Rolls Royce Phantom actually sits on a small motorbike on the inside that's attached to a treadmill that works the wheels on the outside.
Then the rotor blades start to thing and it takes off.
Yeah, and then the water skis come down as well, and you just get on the sea and you go.
Marvin is, of course, sitting in the trailer at the back that's attached. You guys are in the hot tub in the middle.
I was going to say there was a hot tub in there.
I think you should deploy the wings, milady, to avoid traffic that way.
Absolutely.
Can I get a rubber ring, please? I can't swim.
The wings are merely decorative.
I thought my wheelbarrow was bullshit, but this is absolutely ridiculous.
I love this is all in her head, and we're all sat in this car that has been completely totaled against a water fountain, and we're all just watching her go.
Just swigging gin.
It's actually one of those rides outside the front. You've been in that the whole time. It's one of those little kids rides.
No, it's my Rolls Royce Phantom. This is my family's legacy design.
I think the Rolls Royce Phantom does exist. It may not have as many bells and whistles as currently described. It is driven on a motorbike engine, so it's quite slow. Let's do a wit sharp roll to see how quickly you can drive everyone to the venue.
I pull the car up to the ramp that I've made out of the various garden bits.
You made a ramp?
Jump. Yeah. Well, when I was going around and around knocking the topiary, what you didn't see is various pieces of pots and plant were winging it into the windows in the building. Is I've actually dug in, so there's a ramp that if I hit this just right, we'd be able to jump over most of the city right into the crypt.
Most of the city?
There's method in the madness.
Laurie, you can't allow this.
Oh, we'll see what the
This
roll
is
does.
breaking the laws of physics. Most of
A 5, a 5, and a 1!
most of the city.
Okay, I was going to say that roll, because you wanted to jump most of the city in a car, that roll would probably be slightly harder than expected. This would be a challenging roll, which means you need to get 2 successes, which you got with a 5, and a 6. So even if I'd made that a daunting roll, which is the hardest level of success, in which you need 3 successes, you would have achieved that.
You got 5 and
Oh,
a
I got
6.
a 5, and a 1.
A 5, and a 1. Okay, well, it's still a challenging roll, which needs 2 successes in that roll.
And to be fair, the car does have wings.
The car does have wings.
Actually makes perfect sense.
Non-functional wings. However, the
Glide a bit.
Everyone,
Yeah.
buckle up!
the gin-fueled engine of the Rolls-Royce Phantom fires up. There's a rumble like when a plane begins to start takeoff before the acceleration.
got a head
and then, like the ride speeds speed at Thorpe Park. Out of the gate, this car goes straight up this ramp that's been built into the wall opposite the street. You clip over the top of the fountain on your way as well, cresting the top of the Phoenix. One of the back wheels just gives it a little kiss on the forehead as it goes. You land on the other side, and up the ramp you go, flying over a good portion of buildings, and then coming down on a ramp perfectly.
I'm drunk. I forgot you drive on this side, so this is the driver's side.
This side of the sky.
My communal garden looks a bit like a salamander. I've never noticed that before. Only, I'm absolutely flabbergasted.
That's the name of the game, motherfuckers. Sign up to our Patreon.
Head up to John Grace's Patreon now.
Fortunately, on the other side, there's a slightly curved, sloping roof on a building. Your car manages to crash down onto that and then sloop back down onto the
Sorry,
street.
church.
Fitting for this absolute.
Things brighten.
Stained glass raining down from inside.
Sorry,
The amount of
Animal
damage.
carcasses.
Masks fluttering into the church and landing in people's laps. Loads of bat faces landing in people's hands. And a few taxidermised snakes. And everyone's like, is this it again? Is it the Garden of Eden? As you land though, and you drive the last little stretch up to 6 feet under, and you make it just in time, arriving about the same time as Reggie and his cab driver.
What took you so long?
Terribly sorry, madam. I didn't realise you had such a fine vehicle. Mine pales in comparison to the power of your steed.
Well, the girl knows automobiles, doesn't she?
Evidently so.
So you guys arrive at pretty much the same time to 6 feet under, which is a rather unassuming door set between one of the theatres in the city centre and a massive hotel. The door leads down into a slightly dank, celery feeling place. It's been laid out like a reception area with a red carpet. There are a couple of people stood around the red carpet. There is a young woman who is wearing a set of trousers with suspenders, a small bow tie. She's got a pencil tucked behind one ear and a notepad in one hand. There is a young man who is wearing kind of similar attire, but he's got a flat cap and a camera around his neck on a little leather strap. And then you can see that there's a few other like members of staff lurking around with drinks arranged on little trays to hand out. They offer you some as you come in. You notice just as you're getting out of your carriage, a certain somebody getting out of another cab who's just arrived. Chuffy is there. He gets out of the cab and he pays the driver, and then he just sort of stands there for a while looking a bit lost. And he's sort of like, what do I do now?
Okay.
He's not used to getting his own bags out of the car.
Okay. Yeah, I'll anticipate his leads. I will very quickly untie the wheelbarrow and place it somewhere out of sight, maybe down an alleyway if possible. I'll open the boot, grab his belongings, and say, if you would follow me this way. So.
Thank you, Reggie. Thank you. It was hard work getting all out of the car. I had to pay the driver quite a lot for him to carry them from the inside the club.
I'm sure, sir. I'm sure. Would you do me the honour of following after me?
Yes. Chuffy follows you down the stairs, and as you all sort of arrive in this long room, Marvin, sweetheart, has come with you, obviously. He says,
So this is the reception room in which people are going to have their photos taken by the paparazzi, and hopefully we get our story about our social club into the paper. Just through that room there is the lounge and the bar area where there's going to be a band playing, and then off to the sides through a left and right there's 2 exhibition rooms where we've got the pictures arranged for everyone to have a look at. And that's where there's another one just off to the right. If you go through the main exhibition hall, and there's another exhibition which is going to be the one we're going to unveil about an hour into the event, which is the major piece of art that we've brought in from both societies. But that's not open to the public right now.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. I was wondering, I'm going to do a short demonstration for one person at a time, and I was wondering if there's a suitable location. Do you mind if I have a look around and see if I can find somewhere I could set up for that?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to go. You've got the license to go wherever you want, sir.
Well, thank you very much, sweetheart. Well, that's what I'll do when I trot off in my high heels into the shadows.
Absolutely serving.
Willibald, they hate to see him go, but they love to watch him. It's doing great work on your ankles as you trot off to find a side room that you can run your demonstration in. Is this?
It is, although if I find anything extra, I do have a scene cue here for hidden nooks and crannies.
Ooh.
I'm familiar with hiding spots and passageways, and I can use it to my advantage to find a hidden passageway or secret room, which might prove useful. Who knows? Especially if it's getting... I'm thinking maybe if we can find a way to get between rooms quicker than the what were they called? The maybes. The maybe sisters. Or brothers. Or sister brothers. The maybe twins. Maybe they're born with it.
Maybe it's maybe.
Maybe it's maybe. Maybe it's maybe.
Maybe it's maybe.
Oh dear, I appear to be having a stroke.
Yeah. Oh dear, the shoes have cut off the blood supply to my brain. And I just fall over.
Just one question, sir, if I may.
Yes.
I hear you saying that only one person is allowed at a time into your demonstration. We do have rather a large number of guests that we need to sequester. Would it be possible for there to be more? I was hoping that one group could be with you, and then we could keep the other groups separate. Would that be feasible? I don't wish to interrupt
yes,
your...
we just need to... Well, we've got the canoe, so I suppose...
And that reminds me, I will be right back.
So you dash upstairs and you go down the alley. Some rats have started to climb into the wheelbarrow while you've been downstairs, but you managed to shoo them out.
They're gnawing on the canoe.
You get off this. I take the wheelbarrow.
You wheel it down the stairs.
Hopefully find some kind of covering. Otherwise, there are no guests that have arrived.
There's no guests arrive. You've probably got like 10 minutes before the first set of guests are scheduled to arrive.
Hastily bring the wheelbarrow in and gesture you. So I trust this is everything that you need, Master Pusk.
Yes, the only thing I can't remember is whether it's the front end of the canoe that's the good demon or the back end. But I suppose we'll work it out once it starts talking. But the demonstration, wasn't that not meant to be just one of the maybes to keep them out of the way at a time? I mean, I'm very, very happy to do a large group. It's just that some of the more delicate members of the audience might swoon.
Can I just check? I assume that you need to keep all the groups separate, like a large group separate.
So realistically, the maybes are the main progenitors of both of these art styles. They're probably the only people that you reckon will notice the difference between these. Everyone else is kind of a layman or invited art critic. I think as long as you can smooth talk them enough about the different types of art, they won't notice. But these two people, definitely and doubtfully maybe, cannot know that the other one is there.
1,000 apologies, Master Pusk. I was under the impression we need to keep...
Call me Willie. It's absolutely fine. I don't mind being called Willie.
Willie Puke.
Willie Pusk. Willie Pusk.
He's having
These shoes are very tight.
I'll stick with Master Pusk if it's all the same to you. In that case, then, simply point me in the direction that you would like this wheelbarrow to lights to.
Well, you come with me, young Reginald, and we'll find ourselves a spot. And if we end up in a situation where there's maybe one of the guests is a bit too boned up on the different kinds of shapes, then we can bundle them into my demonstration as well. I no problem with that.
Very good, sir.
And a witness is always good in case something goes wrong. I don't think anything will go wrong. Nothing that supernatural's ever happened.
Sir.
So you guys are going to go off and try and find a little side room. Do you want to roll Wit and Sharp to see how well you do at finding a room?
Me as well? I'm following, but...
Wow! That's a 6 and a 5!
Oh,
Yeah,
3 4s.
Okay, well, on the 6 and the 5, Reggie, you're looking around. You managed to find a broom closet that you think would be adequate for this kind of demonstration in a one-on-one space. It's big enough. It's about a GNU's big, so you think it would probably fit.
Reggie's got extensive experience in immersive theatre.
Yeah, Willibald, you seeing the closet, you have a little tap on the back wall of that closet, and a little door creaks open. And a little set of steps goes down. You follow this kind of iron staircase down into the dark. The smell starts to get kind of thick down here. The air's got this real musk to it. And aligning the kind of passageway are these kind of indented stone crevices with human skulls arrayed. You think you've gone deeper into the crypts. but this space is fairly large.
This is absolutely perfect, and does remind me of the smell that was in the house when my darling Marjorie had that bodyguard last summer. He was a live-in bodyguard. Oh, the house always smelled like this. Real musty smell. Oh, it takes me back.
Shall I place the canoe here?
Oh, yes, thank you, Reginald. Oh, yes, just there among the skulls would be perfect. Oh, this reminds me also of when I was in Egypt. We found an old tomb and picked up a few odds and sods and bits and bobs, yes. And maybe you saw them when you went into the shed. There's an old sarcophagus and some invaluable ancient Egyptian artifacts. Probably should be in a museum.
Must have escaped my attention, sir, but it sounds fascinating.
Well, as long as you didn't knock anything over, because they're very fragile. Old organ pots and that kind of thing.
Reggie says nothing and moves the wheelbarrow.
And of course they're cursed, but I'm sure that's
And then the mummy bursts in.
Reggie slowly picks up the front half of the canoe and fashions it in a manner that he hopes is appealing. Is there like a plinth or anything, or any kind of raised surface?
Oh, there's sort of like there is sort of a huge sort of stone altar-y shaped thing down.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Would Sir care for the canoe to be positioned here upon this altar?
I think that would be perfect. If there's one thing demons like, it's altars. Yes. Or hate them, I can't remember. One or the other.
And will Sir be requiring assistance to perform any rituals, or shall I take my leave?
Oh, I won't be resorting to any sort of jiggery-pokery with you in some sort of gnu costume to trick people, because it will be real. It will be real.
Very good, sir.
But do we bring Mrs. Quentin's with us?
I'm afraid Mrs. Quentin's remains in the club, where she is wont to stay.
Well, now I think about it, maybe I will need your assistance, actually. Just a small, just for 5 minutes at the sort of apex of the event. But, there's no lines to learn. It's just a simple case of lifting something at the right moment. For the ritual. It's all real.
Very good, sir.
So you take your leave, I assume, and make your way back upstairs. You've got a sign to sort out, and you've got some masks to erect.
Yeah, I'm just kind of. I've got this bed sheet. Mistress, where should I put this bed sheet?
Look, while Lord Cuckington and his Gnu boy are faffing about downstairs
I
with
could
his
just
little...
wear it. I could just wear it like a ghost.
You and I are going to take charge of this situation, okay? I've got a lot riding on this event going off without a hitch. Now stay in the car, young lady. We're just gonna...
You've gone back outside to the car.
No, we're in the crypt.
You've driven down.
Going down the stairs.
She's driving the crypt now.
I'm driving down with the car.
Do you know how big your car is? The way the Rolls-Royce Phantom works is it's got suicide doors, but it's got a suicide front which opens like this, and then like Batman, she's driven the bike out.
Yeah.
The car.
Are you allowing this, Laurie?
I'm allowing it.
Yes. Oh my God. We're going down the stairs. You're in the
Mostly just
you're in the
your
little
sanity,
sidecar.
Well, I am flabbergasted. The first person ever to unravel just a TTR beach.
So you've got a bike that has emerged from the front of the car.
And I'm dressed as a ghost.
You're dressed as a ghost. You guys arrive at the entranceway. You're served drinks by the staff. The man with the camera takes a couple of photos as you come in. The young one with the notepad says, "Are you excited for the event?"
I'm not
Ghost?
here.
Sorry, Ghost, are you excited for the event?
Ooh, you betcha.
Real life Ghost. Oh, what an interesting byline that'll be. And then you see...
Incredulous!
Yeah, and then pulling into the kind of reception area, you just hear in the distance, "Sweetheart!" And bursting from the lounge room at the end comes Eustace Blowhard, and he says, "Sweetheart!" And he's followed by this young man in a sort of paisley suit that has these kind of splotchy patterns on it, but even more splotches that look like they might be paint. And Blowhard bustles up to you guys in a thing, and he's right in Marvin's face immediately. He's like, "Marvin, this young man has just said to me that you've made an god-awful error. You've hung some of the trapezoidite paintings in the same room as the quadrilateralist paintings. You should know that Definitely Maybe signs all of her paintings D:M, whereas Doubtfully Maybe signs all of her paintings D:'M. You buffoon, Martin!" And Marvin's just like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I can't believe I've made such a crucial error. Sir. We've got 10 bloody minutes to sort this out, or they're going to know, aren't they? The young man comes forward by the name of Calvin Abstract. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I just noticed that some of the paintings in the room, like, one of them signed D:M and one of them signed D::M. I know them maybe from my time in art school. So I just wanted to let you know that, you know there's serious issues between the two of them. They're not going to be very happy if they see these paintings.
I can move them, the ghost says.
The ghost, oh, sorry. I didn't see you there.
Well,
You're not my late wife, are you?
no, I'm just a girl in a sheet asking a man if he wants me to move some paintings for him.
If you and Sweetheart could go and do that,
Yeah, me and Sweetheart can
thank
do
you.
that, yeah.
Who are these people who are so convinced by a sheet with quotes written on it?
It's my presence.
I've got gullible written on my character.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I need to modulate what that means.
Yeah, what gullible means in this reality.
In this reality,
Yeah.
you're real gullible.
Bloody hell.
That's what's been offered to you. Are you going to go and try and fix the paintings?
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to try and load one of them into the Ghost Rider.
Into the Ghost Rider. Are you going as well?
Right.
Oh, I'm going to give her a lift. She can't walk around here. I would never let, as the heiress to an automobile fortune, I would never let my maid walk around
It's
in
unbecoming.
public. It's unbecoming of an automobile heiress's maid.
So to clarify, you're on a motorbike
Yeah, but it's got one of the little sidecars.
and you're in the sidecar. Ghost in the sidecar.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that animal.
Okay.
Ghost in the shell.
the
Ghost in the
sidecar.
shell.
Okay. So, well, Marvin runs alongside you as you go to. He leads you down this kind of red carpet. You're leaving tyre tracks on it as you go. The photographer is snapping all the way down. Marvin bursts open the doors into this kind of lavishly decorated lounge. The ceilings are kind of vaulted. You've got this bar that's been erected in the middle. There's a stage behind that with a sort of jazz quartet who were playing as you came into the room, but then seeing a motorbike burst into the room kind of stop what they're doing and sort of watch for a second as Marvin leads you off to the right. There's also a room off to the left, which is another one of the galleries, so you might want to deal with that at some point as well. But you go into the room on the right and Marvin just goes, I'm sorry, I can't work out which one's which. All of these shapes look the same to me. And you can see that all the kind of abstract style paintings on the wall all have these four-sided shapes on them with four distinct angles, and some of the lines are parallel, some of them are not quite so parallel. You think these might be quadrilaterals or they might be trapezoids. Obviously trapezoids are a type of quadrilateral. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to look to see what the signatures, see if I can differentiate see if I can tell my DMs from my DMs.
Okay, well let's have a culture and etiquette because you're appraising art.
That's not very good. Do you want to also roll, Teagues?
I will let you also roll.
Great, I've got 4 culture and etiquette.
Oh, nice.
You see, I was flown from the United States to the United Kingdom for my education, and I majored in art history.
And I have eyes.
I have a 6, a 5, a 2, and a 1.
Okay.
I have a 3, so I'm no help.
Sure. So you're just looking and you can just see D.
I'm just looking at the backs.
Scrawled in the bottom left corner, and then a date on a lot of them.
I'm just seeing if how easily they can be taken off the wall.
You can absolutely roll me a wit and sharp to see how easily they can be taken off the wall.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Not very easily by me.
Did you not get a 5 or a 6?
No.
No.
2,
Okay.
3, 3, 4.
What was the roll?
Flop era.
4 on a 4.
3, 4, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Unlucky.
Wow, on 4 dice. Yeah, so you see that you sort of pull one of the paintings ever so slightly, and you can see that it's definitely attached to the wall. It's like hung on a hook behind, but there is also some sort of cabling on the edges of the painting that are kind of holding it in place.
That's not good.
They look like they might snap if you pull hard enough. They look like they might be intended to snap if you pull hard enough. So you have you very quickly, with a kind of expert's eye, glance over these paintings. You've seen lots of this kind of stuff. Was it Chatterley House?
Yes.
Yeah, Chatterley Manor, where you live.
Chatterley Park.
Chatterley Park, where you live. You've obviously got many different paintings from many different artists hanging on the wall. I'm assuming you've got different rooms arranged around different art styles and all that kind of thing. So you're very used to operating in this world, and you very quickly see the difference between D:(M) and D:(M). And you begin to point them all out to Marvin, and he said, "Oh, that's really good. We can cover that. We just need to work out which one of them's coming in first."
You don't know?
No, sorry, I can't remember which way I sent the letters out, but I know that one of them's going to turn up in about 5 minutes' time, and 15 minutes later the other one's going to turn up. Now, the thing is, I knew that definitely maybe was going to be wearing a certain designer's new piece to this event, especially designed, but I think, because I was speaking to him, Icon Hops is his name, Icon Hops is the designer, I thought they were going to be wearing a piece from their favourite designer, Icon Hops, but they turned it down at the last minute and they just wore a turquoise pantsuit from him, but he told me that the other one was also worn the same thing.
Oh, God.
All right.
We just need to get them into the same place, surely.
Yes. There's 2 rooms, is there not?
Yes.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fill up one room with all the paintings from Definitely Maybe, and another room with all the paintings from Doubtfully Maybe. And we'll make sure that they only go to the correct room, but we've got 5 minutes, did you say?
You've got 5 minutes until one of them turns up, and then you've got to work out which one it is. I promise if you call the other one by the wrong name, I don't think they're going to like it.
Am I here at this point? Or am I
You're
still-
downstairs in the crypt. setting up. We can bring you back up if you want to come back up. Depends how long. I think there's also an element of masks that need to be set up, so we can say that you come back up if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be
So
convenient.
you've made your way
into this.
You've made your way back up, and you've seen the tire tracks going off down the corridor.
I'm
And
now at this point standing with one foot on the throttle, just doing circles around the room with the other
Thinking.
foot on the...
1 foot on the throttle.
1 foot on the throttle, 1 foot on the seat.
1 foot on the throttle.
Yeah,
foot in the grave.
standing. So it's like a so moving.
So you've got 1
Very
foot,
clawed feet,
1
one
foot
shoot.
on the.
It's their heels, so that it's pressing down and like so the motorcycle is moving around, but I'm standing on the seat
My goodness.
and looking at the
John,
paintings.
this is
and
all
thinking,
happening. I'm allowing
All right.
What an incredible spectacle, Mum. I haven't seen a woman do that since I saw my Marjorie do that a few summers ago, although it wasn't on a motorbike, it was on her bodyguard at the time. Lovely man called Jerome. Big old Jerome. Jerome was massive. Anyway,
Lord Cockington, is that you?
well,
Sorry,
no,
puke spree.
No, sorry, Willie, to you. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a very good view as this. I mean, I was in a closet at the time, peeking through a hole. Anyway, but the point is, I couldn't help but overhear you talking about what to do about Definitely and Doubtfully, and maybe. But maybe the thing to do is, why don't, we're not sure who it's going to be, why don't the first one that arrives, we send them down and I give them the demonological exhibition,
Yes.
experiment, and I will coax it out of them which one they are, and then we'll know.
Perfect.
And also it won't matter because they'll be contained. We could even, and I don't know if this is stepping way beyond the mark here, maybe we could avoid this whole mess if we get them both into the demonological thing, and I could do some sort of trickery to try and, I don't know, pretend it was some sort of illusory mirror where they can say what they really feel to their sister, and maybe we can resolve whatever this dispute is that they've had in their family for so long, and actually we'll come out on top, and then that'll make the papers, and they'll be grateful, and they'll give the social club a lot of money. Of course, if it goes wrong, they'll probably try and destroy each of us individually. Our reputations will never be allowed to see our wives again.
Why don't you handle what you know
I don't have
best?
a wife.
says sweetheart.
Angry women. We'll sort out the paintings in these rooms while you distract and then identify, then reunite the twin sister artists.
Remember that they're expecting a reception before they do anything in the thing, though. They're going to need a speech.
A speech?
Lady Ashley, you might be best served to do it, being the patron of this club.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, just make sure though that they don't catch wind that you don't know which maybe they are.
Of course I would never let it catch wind.
Would you like to wear this owl face?
Thank you.
Hoot hoot.
Okay, so you guys are going to quickly fix the paintings.
Are these twins identical?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Good. Okay, so
Can I have a mask to wear over my ghost face?
In fact,
You've not even hung the banner. You just
I'm sorry.
Madam, we do need to, if I may, we do need to hang that banner up in the welcome chamber.
I like it in the ghost.
And you do.
There's a ghost in the room.
Do look.
It's safe in the ghost.
You do look thoroughly spectral.
Thank you.
Are you sure it's an actual ghost? I thought that was Lavinia.
No. Trust me. I work in the occult. That is a ghost. I'm not some gullible fool. That is a ghost. And if this place is haunted, we should do our best to make sure that we exploit that financially, and also make sure it's safe spiritually.
Oh, I'm definitely going to get fired up on a haunted exhibition.
You have indeed, sweetheart. But don't worry, sweetheart. I can solve this problem. I just need a bell, a book, a candle, rainbows, and thickets, and
I've taken the sheet off.
jingles on the road. These are a few of my favourite things. Thank goodness you're here, Miss Bennett. Did you see the ghost just now?
I've just hidden the sheet behind my back.
No, sir.
There's a ghost, and we need to catch it.
Oh, goodness, how exciting.
Who are we going to call?
Bust Ghosters. A famous
Buster Ghost.
Buster
Ghostman.
A famous spiritual detective.
My wife was once visited by a ghost in the night. She said, "Protect yourself, Willibald." So I went into the wardrobe where I habitually go and viewed through the slats. It was a closet, really, because closets have slats so you can see where you're going if it was a mobile closet. I viewed through the slats
Willibald is
wrestle this ghost.
struck by lightning and dies.
I nick him with the tire of my motorcycle as I go around.
First character to ever
Oh!
die in Flabbergasted.
My heels!
Failing forwards, RPG.
I'm just swiping the paintings, the wrong paintings off. So
Yep.
whichever ones aren't by the right DM, I've
You decided room 2 is going to be definitely maybe's room,
yes.
and then room 1 is going to be
Doubtfully maybe, yeah.
And then we scoot in the next room and chuck them up and pull the
Yeah.
Okay, so you rehang all the paintings.
Yeah.
Marvin has decided he's going to run outside and try and find a thicket and a rose bush and
A rainbow.
bell and a rainbow. Yeah, and he's doing that for now.
Can I check
What are you
on
gonna do?
Chuffy's doing?
Chuffy is drinking copious amounts of the free booze. He's made it from the reception area. He was chatting to the people from the papers for a while, and now he's made it into the kind of lounge area, and he's listening to the jazz band and ordering copious mint juleps.
Okay, I observe from a distance and I just want to see that he has everything he needs.
Yeah, he's asking anyone within range. He's asked the band at multiple points for a drink. He's just saying, "Bloody hell, give me a drink, would you? One of you, please. Come on.
Okay, I will fresh.
Where's bloody Reggie?"
Coming, sir. I'm going to make a large jug of mint juleps so I can leave it in front of him.
Okay, so you bring him sort of like this sangria jug of mint julep for him, and he's like, "Oh, it's julep o'clock.
Very good, sir.
Top stuff, Reggie."
Yes. Is there anything else I can do for you, sir?
Not right now, thank you. Maybe when the party begins, I'll need some other things, or maybe some things for my friends. But I'm fine for now.
Very good,
This
sir.
drink, thank you.
Very good, sir. And then I guess
You just sneak off again.
yeah, I shimmer off to see if you guys. Is there anything I can help? Oh,
So you're rehanging all the paintings. Let's see how long that takes you, shall we? Let us do a wit and sharp roll.
Well, 3 of these.
Wow.
A 5, a 6, and a 2.
Nice. I rolled a 6, the rest are flops.
Lovely. We only needed one success from both of you. So on that, you managed to, working together very, very quickly, rehang all of these paintings. You guys get out and you drive back into the reception hall.
So are you throwing them like a paper boy, just like onto
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
And
just
they go,
slamming them on the wall.
She's got blue tack, like
Yeah.
Blue tack.
Yep, blue tack's been invented.
Yeah, that's
They're on motorbikes. Yep.
and I pop a wheelie on the
And then I jump on the back as you pop a wheelie. And Laurie allows it. And Laurie says how cool we look.
On this many successes, I'll say that happens.
Reggie
You managed to
watches.
make a pretty good job of it.
Softly rubbing his temples.
Yeah. Blowhard is sort of milling about. You sort of race past him on the bike, and he's like, bloody hell, as you go. You make your way into the reception area. You've got a couple of minutes before the first guests are due to arrive. What are you going to do?
Okay, so we need to have a speech ready for when she arrives. Lady Ashley, do you have a speech prepared? Would you like any assistance in preparing one, or do you feel fully ready to receive?
Let's just say I've got something up my sleeve.
Very good, ma'am.
Just bring me a large bottle of gin.
As you request, ma'am. I head to the bar and get the biggest bottle of gin I can find.
Okay, and you bring it back, and you're ready to go. Is there anything else you guys need to arrange, or are you ready for people to come in?
Miss Bennett, where would I find the banner? Has it been positioned?
There you go. Sorry, it's a bit crumpled.
Charming as always. And I'll go and so we want that one of the rooms to have the banner on, is that right? Because we only got one banner.
You've only got one banner.
Okay. Do we know which room they're going in first?
But the idea was to put the banner up because it's the same acronym.
Oh, so just put it
in the middle, in the
Right,
main,
okay.
in the shared space.
Okay, great. I'm gonna hang that banner up.
Let's say you hang it over the door.
Bring your gin first.
Yeah, so you bring the gin back, and then you take the banner and you hang it over the door to the
Big
bar
bottle.
area.
Fucking hell. Bottle's so wide.
It's a Texas Mickey.
I don't know what that is, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, so you take this banner and you hang it over the door into the bar/lounge area.
Great.
It manages to hang in a. Let's see how well you hang it. Let's do creativity and passion.
Oh, I'm bad at that. I've got to creatively hang this banner. Survive!
It's a 5. Okay, so when arranging the banner, you looking at Lavinia's work, you notice that quota's not exactly spelled correctly. However, it does have all the letters of both acronyms on it. So you managed to hang it in a way that from one angle it looks like quota with an A, and from the other angle it looks like quota with an ER. You kind of hang that, and pleased with your work, you rejoin your fellows, and then you hear that you kind of hear some chatter from upstairs as you hear the sound of people starting to descend.
I'll begin distributing the masks immediately, and then when Miss maybe arrives, maybe that's when I'll take her aside, lock her downstairs, and show her the GNU.
Is that what they're calling it these days? Just a little joke.
Very good. GNU.
Yeah, so the chatter on the stairs begins to grow louder, and then people begin to kind of file into the kind of red carpet area. There's some of them are stopping for photos with press and little bits of interviews. The first person through is a very tall man in quite an ill-fitting black suit, almost like funeral garb. He's got a very long face and a very long nose that sort of hangs down almost over his mouth, and he sort of
That's really long.
Yeah, really long. And the you can hear the little newsie who was standing at the thing. She says, "Oh, Mr. Sniffler, Mr. Sniffler, are you excited for the event?" And he says, "Yes, I'm excited to see the next wave of artists." And then he just moves off in a kind of floating walk all the way through to the bar area. The next person through is a man with this kind of shock of white hair. He's wearing kind of a brown suit and like glasses with tinted lenses. He moves through and people take a few different photos of him. A couple of young socialites make their way down. You see a man come down who's wearing like a kind of burgundy smoking jacket. He's followed by another guy in a similar attire, and they both have pins in the lapel of their jacket of a little golden fist. This is Walter Tewkesbury Light, who is your rival club president, the president of the Midas Society. He's followed by his little lackey, Cressington Pevensey, who he's got like this kind of white blonde hair, and he's sort of scuttling along behind Tewkesbury Light, who is a tall man, quite handsome, kind of foppish, but with kind of shrewd eyes. He kind of surveys the area as he comes in, and you can see that he's kind of probing the layout for weaknesses, and you can see that he's immediately drawn to the tire marks in the carpet as he comes in. You can almost see him making this kind of mental note as he walks along. And he's kind of asked by the newsie, she's like, Mr. Tewkesbury, what are you excited for this event? He's like, it should be wonderful fun, shouldn't it? To see the Phoenix Club rise from the ashes. This is really a rebirth, I guess. Or it could be their swan song, I suppose. Could be their swan song. Come on then, P&C. And he just walks off to the bar immediately. And then finally, coming down the stairs is a woman wearing this turquoise pantsuit. She's got really long black hair. She's wearing kind of cat's eye glasses. And this is when the kind of a few more photographers kind of make their way down the stairs following her. They're snapping pictures of her on the stairs, and she's sort of stopping and posing. And everyone's saying, Miss Maybe, Miss Maybe, Miss Maybe, over here. Pose for us, Miss Maybe. And she's stopping and posing, and then they take it down, and the newsie there says, Miss Maybe, are you excited to have your work displayed? And she says, well, of course. It's exciting to be at the forefront of the artistic world, and it's finally time for Peccadillo to realise that quota is the future of art. And she's just taking it down. What are you guys doing?
Well, I definitely intercept initially the Midas guys as they come in and go, oh, gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry. We've on our last masks, but unfortunately they are compulsory. This one's a rat, and this one's an earthworm.
Bravado and persuasion, please.
Oh, it's just one dice. No. One die. Come on. It's a 1.
It's a 1.
Stick this worm on your face.
Yeah, so Tewkesbury Light just says, very good, Pewsk, but I'll be taking one of these. And he's seen all the other ones that are arranged on the table, and he just picks up one of a bald eagle, shall we say.
No, won't use the eagle.
And P&C takes one that's kind of made of, it seems to be a bunch of snake skin, all sort of sewn together, and he takes that.
Yes. No. I'm flabbergasted.
And they just make their way off into the event. What else are you going to be doing? You're still handing out the masks?
Yep.
Okay, so a few people take fox masks. Most people are avoiding the rats and the other vermin creatures that you have made into various masks.
Are we all wearing masks or not?
I've got an owl mask on.
Okay.
I've made I made a fine netting of spiders for you, Mr. Reginald.
A netting of spiders. That is very thoughtful.
It can be worn on the stick or as a veil, very fetchingly.
Very, very thoughtful of you, sir. I shall wear it with pride.
There's no eye holes necessary, because you can see sort of through the legs when they're close enough to your face.
It is most effective, sir.
Bit itchy, but you'll get used to it.
Yeah. So like a few people will come up and they begin to take the various masks. Quite a lot of people sort of
Fabulous spiders.
they give you this they give you a lot of side eye as you're offering it to them. They pick them up and immediately sort of looking at their hands, and there's a bit of some sort of matter that is transferred from the back of the mask to the hands in a few places. People aren't incredibly impressed with the mask that you're offering. But finally, after sort of having her photo taken for a couple of minutes on the red carpet, Miss Maybe makes her way over.
Could I offer? I'd like to have a tray of drinks. I'd like to present one to her, and ideally just hover around her and see if anyone uses her name.
Okay.
Beyond Miss Maybe, but kind of start by offering her a drink.
Miss Maybe sort of she walks over and she takes the drink. She says, "What kind of drink is this then?"
Why, this is a mint julep, madam.
A mint julep.
Reliably informed, they are very nice.
Yes, quite delicious. Actually, I think I can't see myself having more than one, though.
Very good.
Maybe a bit rich.
Very good. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Oh, a drink will be fine. Are these the masks for the masquerade? I didn't realise there was a masquerade element to this evening.
Definitely.
It is. Quickly step in. It was decided to add little.
She just gives you a little look.
Are you trying to see if she reacts? Does she react?
She does react. She gives you she snaps around, but she's taking it as you're saying definitely it is a masquerade element.
It was decided rather last minute, Mum. What would be her title? What would I say to her? Miss
Maybe.
Miss Maybe. It was decided rather last minute, Miss Maybe, to add a little extra spice to proceedings. I hope it is agreeable to you.
Well, let's roll bravado and persuasion to see how agreeable to it she is.
That's a 6.
It's a 6. Okay, so she says.
Rolling so well today.
Yeah, crazy.
She says. Well, I wasn't informed by Sweetheart when he sent out the invitation. And obviously, at least I've had my photo taken for the papers, so I won't be covered in whatever these are.
May I recommend the spider masks, madam?
I would like this black cat mask, please. And she selects a black cat mask.
By all means.
And she picks it up and places it on her face. Whose cat was that?
I'm afraid I got rather carried away in the kitchen.
You can see that there's like an element of collar still hanging.
He's killed the pet. He's killed the kitchen cat.
Oh, diddles.
But on the 6, she kind of accepts it. She
Trigger
says,
warnings.
Now I heard there was to be a speech at a reception in the bar area.
Yes, if you would follow me, Miss Maybe, Lady Ashley will be commencing the speech very shortly, now that the guest of honour is here.
Wonderful. I cannot wait to hear what she has to say about our wonderful movement.
Me too.
Okay. So, you guys move up. I'm assuming you kind of follow along. Are you gonna follow along?
I think so. I think I'll follow at a respectable distance.
Cool,
And
so
I'm
you
trying to
kind of-
listen to see if anyone uses her name.
Yeah. So everyone kind of trots through to the main reception area. The jazz band have been kind of playing people in, and people are kind of beginning to arrange themselves in various seats. However, as you kind of enter, they stop and move off to one side, kind of ceding the stage to you.
I polish off the last of my gin bottle, which I've been drinking this entire time.
So big.
Set it down on the ground. Adjust my owl mask. Wink at Tewkesbury Light. Wink at, Cressington? Pevensie. And then I turn to Miss Bennett and I say, why don't you push that button on the Phantom bike?
I hit the button.
A beautiful gold French horn jumps into the air.
From where?
From the bike.
Oh, inside the
And
bike.
lands in my hands.
The trunk
ready
pops and
for
it just fires up.
a dazzling performance. I stride onto the bandstand.
You're just spending a scene cue for this.
Yes.
Fair.
I stride onto the bandstand, shimmy my large fur coat, gaze out into the crowd. On this beautiful golden French horn, there is carved a phoenix.
Oh, hell yeah.
Very nice.
It's more beautiful than I could possibly have imagined.
While she's doing this,
Yeah.
can I back her up? Because I have one step ahead. So
Yeah.
her plan is obviously to. I'm thinking I could use the last dregs of the gin and set the horn on fire while she's playing it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So you're playing this tune on the French horn. The crowd are enraptured. They were expecting a speech, and this is more than they could have ever asked for. A member of the Phoenix Club coming out and playing them in, and then you sort of pour a bit of gin around the edge. There's a slight gurgle as some of the gin makes its way back through the horn, and then you get the better of it with a blow, and then you light it with a match. This flame shoots up.
Fuck yeah.
The Phoenix Club, risen from the ashes once again.
If everyone's enraptured,
Yeah.
can I sidle up behind Miss Maybe?
Yes.
And use one of my scene cues, which is light-fingered,
Yep.
to see if she's got anything in her pockets that might give me a clue to her identity.
Oh, smart.
Okay, right. So
Now
you
we're
have
getting it.
used. Hang on.
Pickpocket her.
I'll come in handy for
I got a dignity
Which is
for
great,
that.
because all that motorbike
because you
giving
played
some
so
fair bit of scam.
dignified.
That'll come in handy for our campaign. Now that 1,000 of you have already subscribed to our Patreon.
Did you hear about that Willie Bell Busk? I saw him at a party once, groping the bottom of that lovely Miss Maybe. It's probably because he doesn't get much at home. Yes, no, I hear that his missus is always knocking off the help. I don't think they're help. I think he pays them to do... Anyway, scandalous.
While Miss Maybe is kind of watching
these
this,
characters.
you can literally see the kind of her eyes go wide as the flames light up her kind of cat's eye glasses, and she has a little
A complete disregard to physics.
she's got a little sort of turquoise clutch bag on her that she plonks down for a second on a table next to her while she takes another drink, and you dip your hands in very quickly. There's a lot of money, a lot of readies in there, like in kind of notes. She's got some makeup, some other various bits and bobs.
Curse the eye holes on this earthworm mask.
I left with the earthworm.
Luckily,
There was not
I'm very-
others left.
Just hiding clues.
It's just a tiny worm in the middle of an empty mask.
Oh, I picture it stretched.
Oh
Tiny
god! I
eye hole.
was just picturing like two worms as your eyebrows. Like,
Luckily, I'm very acquainted with peeking at things through tiny holes.
Yeah, and then you ruffle through a little bit more. There's a dry cleaning slip. It's just made out to definitely.
Bingo. Excellent. There we are.
oh my
I'll scuttle around the others and go, "Oh, don't be alarmed, it's me behind the earthworm."
Your entire fucking face is visible.
He's essentially just wearing it's like a stocking, but it's made of. It's got
God.
like bands around it.
Stretched
It's
out.
all the way up. It's
God,
not
is it
like
a full
it's-
face?
Yeah,
It's like
he's
a-
got a full. It's like yeah, and he's got this little top bit.
Oh my god!
Don't worry, it's me. It is definitely maybe.
Definitely.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Definitely maybe.
For sure.
Wait, do you know this?
Yes, I've managed to pilfer her dry cleaning bill.
Oh, great.
I should have put this back.
As she's playing the horn, I go up and whisper to her in her ear, it's definitely.
And then I hit one final applause.
Yeah, the crowd does.
Flames.
They do erupt into applause, and then as everyone's clapping, you see Walter Tewksbury Light shout, "Speech! Speech!"
That was my speech.
Oh, come on!
I have a little note that I scribbled down, which just says definitely maybe equals quadrilateral, and I just kind of.
We just have a wit and sharp to see how subtly
Well, I tell you what.
you can handle.
I tell you what, Lawrence.
Go on.
I do have. Oh, I didn't go for it. I had unseen and unnoticed, but I didn't go for it.
I haven't seen the
I'm
notice.
making you spend them now so I can fuck you over later. That's what I'm doing.
All right, I think I move to try and get on stage, and I see see Miss Bennett there. I go, Miss Bennett, would you mind awfully passing this on to your mistress, please? It's very important.
Yes, she doesn't know what it's called. And I
Same thing, wit and sharp, please. You were part of the performance with the gin, but we will have a wit and sharp to see how obvious it is.
I
that-
can't use one of my scenes.
You can use a scene if you want to use a scene, yeah?
Do I want to use a scene?
Hey, it's up to you.
I'm happy to do it if you don't want to use the scene.
It's fine. I have unseen and unnoticed, so I think I can just like blend in as kind of almost like this is planned for her speech for me to come up and give her her notes.
Okay.
I come up and give it to her and then bow
So
as I
you
leave.
kind of come in and you're making out as if you're taking the horn, right? So you kind of lean over, and as you take the horn with the hand behind it, you just slip the bit of paper
Hell yeah.
very easily into Lady Ashley's hand, and you make your way off stage. Most people have not even batted an eye at that.
And it's definitely and trapezius.
I've written down definitely maybe,
Definitely maybe.
and then quadrilateral.
Quadrilateral.
Right.
Great.
I give.
Let's see how much you remember.
I give Miss Bennett a nod. A stately nod.
You're welcome for that beautiful performance. And thank you for joining us at the Phoenix Club's official unveiling of the future of our art our debut collection from our most esteemed friend, Definitely, Maybe, and the quadrilateral art that she has prepared for us all to enjoy in this beautiful, stunning crypt. I invite you all to partake in a shrimp toast and glass of Prosecco. Raise it once again to art.
Everyone gathered around goes, Tart!
There's a real ghost in here. Yes.
Are you adding that afterwards?
Yes.
Just yelling it out.
You're just telling the people that there's a real ghost here.
There's a real ghost. Actually, a real quite interesting. Quite interesting facts about these particular tunnels. Is it a real ghost?
I'm just gonna politely usher you away.
I snap my fingers twice, and then my phantom bike drives itself up to the stage.
Okay, well,
I
first of all,
step onto it.
Click control.
we are going to have a bravado and persuasion roll. First of all, see how well your speech went.
So the other bit that's written down is D:M,
D:
in case you need that information, as in which room to send them to.
Right. Okay, I only have one of these.
Oh.
It's a 2.
It's a 2.
There's no scene things you can use.
You can use a scene thing now if you have one to make it a definite success.
The button on my speech will be, yes, I'm going to use...
Cool bike trick.
Yeah, a surprising skill.
The French horn wasn't the surprising skill.
That was nothing.
No.
French
You're
horn on fire.
It's going to escalate.
I snap my fingers. My phantom car bike drives itself up from the stage as I say, now, I know a lot of you know I came to the United Kingdom for my education, and I majored in art history at Oxford, and then Cambridge, and then back to Oxford once more. But what you don't know about me is this. And then I, still wearing my owl mask, I leap straight into the air, as high as the crypt ceiling will go, quadruple backflip, land in a handstand on my bike.
On your bike?
Yeah!
On your bike?
On the bike.
We're not getting rid of this bike, John. There's something I can do. It's not a roll, John.
It's a surprise.
I can't take it away.
I like to imagine.
And then I'm down like this, and then I kind of arch my back, dip my feet back, so I'm in a handstand, and I go, and then I pull the throttle. The bike goes kind of on the spot in front of the bandstand, and then rips in a circle around the room, going faster and faster and faster, just like the donuts I was doing in the garden, and little flecks and bits of the dirt from the crypt are kicking up, and kind of smoke's billowing. It's like a
scandal.
To be clear, we're not in the crypt right now, are we?
You're in the bar area. Imagine the kind of vaults in Waterloo. That's kind of the element of where you are right now, but there are proper crypts below this. You're kind of in arches, and
I think this is just what's in her head.
Yeah, I think this is it.
It's actually a servant going around with a push bike. Like
It's me.
what you've actually just seen is a very gin-addled woman on stage going,
so much just spitting booze all over herself like a fountain.
setting herself on fire.
There's something so compelling about it because her cries with so much emotion that everyone's like they're feeling the speech.
We'll leave it up to viewer discretion as to which one happens. However, the performance ends, the audience are clapping.
Have you guys seen Saint Maud?
No.
All right, if you've seen Saint Maud, it's the end of that. If you know what that means, that is what's happening right now on stage.
But so it ends by me go faster and faster and faster, rip her up into the fury, so that, the ancient bones and dust from the city's crypt dwellers are sort of floating up. Everyone's like, ah! And then I slam on the brakes and go quadruple backflip, land back on the bandstand, pull off my owl mask, and then just stick it.
Everyone erupts into applause, and Blowhard's there going, bloody good show! Bloody good show! That's what you get at the Phoenix Club, folks. That's what you can expect almost every day at the Phoenix Club.
I'm watching Tewkesbury and Pevensey.
You can see that they're clapping because they should be seen to be clapping. But there's a moment where sort of Tewkesbury's just giving side eye, and he's just shaking his head, and then he just whispers something to Pevensey, and you can see Pevensie start to make his way through the crowd.
To where?
He's heading towards definitely maybe.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna trail.
Okay, so you kind of trail along behind. Blowhard comes up to you as you come off stage and he says, "Jolly good show. I think you said the right one."
Oh, I definitely said definitely.
You definitely said definitely, but I think the correct ones, it was the quadrilateralists or not the trapezoidites.
No, it's the quadrilateralists. Definitely, I have a very good authority that I did not mess this up.
No, I think
us.
it was. I think it was perfect. Yeah. Well done, Lady Ashley.
Thank
I'd be
you.
the first to congratulate you on a good show.
You're welcome.
Now, obviously, the other one will be here in about 10 minutes, so we'll have to do it all over again.
We need to get her downstairs with the demon guy.
Great. Bring me another bottle of gin and let's go.
Oh, I'm absolutely flabbergasted.
So you can see. So you're following
more
Pevensie as he makes his
flabbergasted.
way through the crowd, and Pevensie just walks up to Miss Maybe and he says, "Miss Maybe, could we just talk in one of these side rooms? How about what's it, exhibition room 2?"
And
And he begins to lead her towards exhibition room 2.
Yeah, and I wave over to you and I go, I'm terribly sorry to interrupt, but we actually have a special performance just for you, Miss Maybe. If you wouldn't mind following me. As soon as it's done, you're free to explore, but we really want to make sure you get the full experience.
Bravado and persuasion, please.
You got this.
No, it's a 4.
It's a 4. She says,
I mean, I'm telling the truth.
she says, oh, you are telling the absolute truth. She says, well, yes, but I'll just quickly pop in here with Mr. Pevensie, and then we can go downstairs. All right?
It is rather time sensitive. I hate to be so pushy, my lady, but we do have a special performer ready to go. If I could borrow you as soon as possible.
As you failed that, she's just going to say, like, yes, I understand. I just need to go in this room for one moment with Pevensie and to clear this up, and then I will be straight down.
Of course, madam.
So what are you going to do? Because those two are just heading towards room 2 now as we speak.
I don't know what else to do. I think I'm just...
Have I seen
Room
this?
2, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Room 2 is where you put the trapezoidite.
No.
Yeah.
What a pickle.
Have I seen this happen?
I think we probably have a complex series of hand signals to communicate what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing a kind of...
I am gonna make a beeline for the bar, and I'm gonna get a glass of red wine,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try. Can I try and use my wit and sharp to basically throw it on this guy so that he has to go to the bathroom and clean himself up?
Ooh, okay. So essentially what you're going to try and do
aiming
is
for the crotch.
you're trying to... Are you trying to do it sort of surreptitiously, or are you literally just going to wing it across the room? Are you going to try and spill it as if it's an accident, or are you going to try and do it
Yeah, drive by.
a drive-by? Okay, let's
Yeah.
do wit and sharp then. Get a bottle of red wine, you pop the cork, and you're carrying it as if you're kind of serving.
Yeah. Come on, yes! 6 and a 5.
Okay, well that's absolutely great. So you walk over with this wine, and you manage to do the kind of perfect trip. You kind of manage to hook one of your legs almost within his as he's taking a step. You fall into him, and this wine spills over his burgundy jacket. And he's like, "Oh no, my jacket!" And it's all on his little lapel thing. And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Maybe. I must go." And he runs off to the bathroom, leaving Miss Maybe in your care.
Can I take you downstairs to the special exhibition that's being ran by our very own demonologist? I try and make it sound very enticing and sexy and
Spooky
cool.
and ethereal.
Yeah.
Okay, well she's now that kind of she'd already promised that she was going to go there, and she says, "Oh yes, well as Mr. Pevensie is indisposed, let us go and find out what this demonologist has to say. It should be fun."
So I signal to you that it's go, 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 go. And I'm going to take her down. I'm going to bring her over to you for you to kind of take her down.
Madam, would you like to follow me, and we will see beyond the veil into a terrifying world of beyond.
Beyond, she's like, "Beyond, that would be so fascinating because, as you can tell from my art, I'm so interested in different perspectives."
Well, yes, indeed, quite, and I'm very fond of the quadrilaterals.
How brave to say it directly to her face.
You see Reggie nodding.
Yes.
And she says, "Really? What's your favourite piece of my work? I didn't know people followed us. We were sort of in our breakout moment. Obviously, you've worked with the Phoenix Club for a while. Have you been looking at our stuff?"
Well, I'm actually a gentleman of great culture and etiquette. And let me tell you, Ms. Maybe, that I particularly like the one that's the least like a trapezoid.
And she says, "Quite.
Do remind me, I'm sorry, though I can picture it so clearly, I can't remember the name of the piece. You must forgive me.
Do you want to try and roll to see if you can remember the name of one?
I will, because that'll be culture and etiquette.
Yes, that would.
Yes.
Well, this can't possibly go wrong.
No.
How many have you got?
4.
4.
Let's see him.
Oh, no, it is coming to me. Yes, it's
Oh no.
Where number 6 or I can't remember.
Do you mean rhombus in abstract?
That, yes, yeah, I think that's exactly the one I'm thinking of. Yes.
It's sort of a lot of, well, rhomboid shapes arranged. They make it, when sort of viewed from afar, they make the face of a robin.
Exactly. Yes.
Kind of like a magic eye picture.
Like a magic eye picture. They've definitely been invented.
Another 1920s thing, magic eyes.
Steampunk magic eyes.
Magic eyes.
It was all made with steam, don't worry guys. If you need to know how any of the things are done in this series, they have been done
steam.
with steam or cogs. That's it.
Punk. The punk band are
You're
very
full
good.
of punk. Right, come on.
The steam pistols. Should we go downstairs and speak to things from the pit?
Yes, let's go. And then so you sort of lead her.
I'll show you the GNU wave.
Oh, that's good.
So you
Can I just, before you go, do you require my assistance for this piece?
Yes, Reginald, I need you to do the waving bit. Otherwise the GNU won't wave.
Of course, sir.
Okay, so you two take Miss Maybe downstairs. The way down into the crypts was through the lounge area. There's a little kind of cubby hole, almost concealed closet, and then within that there is another concealed entrance that leads down these stairs. There's a second where you lead her into the closet area that she looks a bit confused and a bit shocked, and she's wondering quite why she's there. And then once you lead her down, she's actually quite, oh, how delightful! This is incredibly spooky. And you kind of end up down there. You two, what are you up to?
Cleaning gin off the horn.
You're cleaning gin off the horn.
Frantically for the next performance. Fucking hell, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and
I'm pouring more gin into the gas tank of my bike car.
Okay, so you're filling up ready for performance too, and as you're doing that, you can hear the kind of chatter and the clicking of shutters once again as the paparazzi start to fire up, and you hear more sort of Miss Maybe, what do you think about the event tonight? And she's just like, oh yes, I think it will be most wonderful. I'm so excited for our art movement to break out above all others in the city of Peccadillo. And you can hear a very similar voice, and you can see from that distance that this is a very similar, almost identical woman who is with long black hair. She's wearing a turquoise pantsuit, and she has these sort of brow line glasses on. She makes her way in. She's told by some of the members of staff who are at the doorway to select a masquerade mask. She picks a black cat.
Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell.
And she makes her way into the party.
Is there any way that I can
Go on.
modify her?
Modify her without her knowing.
Just do some quick body modification.
Yeah,
Like a
just
sticker on her
just
back.
like an ear piercing or something, just real quick. What's she got on? She's got on that pantsuit.
Yeah, she's wearing the exact same outfit as the other woman.
Do you say the glasses were different though?
Glasses are different, but she's now wearing a mask. The glasses have been taken off and they're put into a little clutch bag.
And she's got contacts, I assume, because it's the 20s.
They were probably just stylish glasses. They were just like
no
plain
frames.
lenses. Yeah.
My lady, you distract her.
I roll up my sleeves I hop on my bike.
Of course she fucking does.
As you're doing that, Blowhard says, "You need to make another speech, Lady Ashley, but you need to make it so that not everyone in the room realizes you're just doing another speech because we've invited 2 maybes."
Fuck. To stall for time, I rev the engine, but then I kick the back of my bike.
Yeah.
And the whole back of it comes off, so it's just a
Smaller
unicycle with like a rocket on the back.
She makes a mockery of the noble art of flabbergasting.
I'm allowing it.
I'm rich. I can do whatever I want.
I'm rich. Physics doesn't apply to me.
Before she does her stunt, can I just get some grease off the bike wheel?
Yep.
So before she begins her distraction,
Sure.
I get some grease.
Yeah. So once she gets the grease, I go. And I do the same thing. I go round and round in circles on my unicycle.
So you're on one wheel now.
Yes, it's a unicycle, if you can believe it. They exist. And I go, and there's a rocket on the back, so I'm going super, super fast, just round and around and around.
Thought it was unrealistic for a moment,
No,
but
not at all.
it's got a rocket on the back.
Yeah, it's got a rocket on the back. Boom, boom, boom. And the dust that had just settled starts kicking up again. And you hear the ping, 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 ping. As little tiny rocks are hitting people's champagne glasses and landing on their shrimp toasts. And then I slam on the unicycle brakes and then flip end over end onto the stage. I look over at Bennett. I go, press that button.
Before we do this, we're having a wit and sharp roll to see how this unicycling turns out. This is what you think's happened in your gin-addled brain.
You've drunk so much gin.
It makes me sharper.
We might all be in your gin fantasy.
I've got a 1, a 4, and a 6.
Okay, it happens exactly as described.
You're regretting enabling this.
Yes. No, yes. Okay. Hit the button.
This world where physics
Hit
means
the
nothing.
button, Tilly.
The French horn comes out again. People start applauding already because the ones who've seen it already know what a treat they are in for. I catch it in one hand, bring the shiny instrument to my lips. The phoenix glints in the candlelight.
And you're going to have to roll for it this time because you don't have a scene cue.
Oh, yeah.
So, why don't we take a bravado and persuasion?
Oh, I only have one of those!
Oh dear.
While this is going on, can I try and smear this grease on the back?
Let's see how this goes because this might make your job harder.
Gotcha.
What's that?
What do we got, Teeks?
What did you get, Tiggy? Tiggy Teeks?
It's a 1.
That's a bad miss.
There's a lot of gin in this horn.
The gin might be hitting you.
So you blow in and it's... People are definitely watching. You've definitely got their attention. They've just watched this beautiful unicycle performance. And people began to stand and turn and they were ready to applaud as the horn flew out and they knew what to expect and they couldn't ever have possibly expected this exact thing to happen, this kind of gargling, drowning noise that's emerging from the horn. So I'm going to say that the other maybe is watching, certainly, not perhaps as enthralled.
Watching a little doubtfully.
Yeah, who's certainly maybe?
Oh no, that's the third one.
That's the third one.
That's actually their mum's name, and their dad's absolutely maybe. But yes, so she's not quite as enthralled as her sister was. So what are you going to do?
Before I do this, I think I'm going to see that this is not. I'm going to see that this is not going as well as the other performance did, and I'm going to kind of try and blend into the crowd and whisper under my breath, I think it's a metaphor. And I just kind of going from rich person to rich person. Yes, I think it's a comment on the movement, on the art movement.
Roll culture and etiquette.
Oh fuck no, Laurie! I've only got one in that. Can't I have wits? Give me my wits. No, it's a 2. No, my win.
It's taken like a few of the younger socialites do kind of catch on to this, and they're like, oh yes, it must be a metaphor. They're the phoenixes rising from the ashes. The ashes have been doused in water or gin or whatever it is, and surely at the end of this performance, the phoenix will rise again. And then some of the kind of older members of the crowd, especially those who seem to be kind of more into art culture and the art critics who are assembled, are just like, no, it couldn't possibly be that. I don't think she's very good at the French horn.
I say, is that Willie Bold's wife? No, not that. She's in South America again.
She's getting plowed into oblivion in Rio de Janeiro.
Are you spreading your own rumours about yourself? He gets off on it.
This is the Statler and Waldorf at the back, who always crop up my personal nemesis.
Always talking about your wife and no one else.
Yeah.
I haven't been so flabbergasted since my wife was ploughed by another man in front of me while I was in the closet.
Let's just say she's getting absolutely flabbergasted in Rio de Janeiro.
Flabbergasted's what I call it when I'm wearing a ball gag.
He could be watching from any nook and cranny. It's one of his scene cues.
And that's in the core rulebook, guys. You can buy flabbergasted
Is this
now.
what you wanted when you sponsored this episode? Is this what you want?
Which kink are you into? You find out.
On yourself. Okay, so you try to kind of pass this rumour around that it's all a bit of a metaphor. It takes off amongst some people, but it's not necessarily taking form with others. But then some people are starting to think it might just be a really avant-garde performance.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
Sorry, Queen. I tried. You're on your own. I'm now just going to go back to my plan, which was to get the grease that's all over my hand and smear it on the back of Doubtfully Maybe's, the lower half of her trousers, so that she can't see what's happened, but that we know that she's Doubtfully.
Okay, nice. Cool. So you're trying to do this, I'm assuming you're trying to do this surreptitiously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to say that because she is not paying as much attention to the performance of lovely Lady Ashley, this is going to be a challenging role, so I'm going to need 2 successes.
Okay, let's see.
You got this, Tills.
Let's see.
Okay, so
6, 4, 1 and a 1.
You make your way in behind as she's kind of watching, and you crouch down to run one hand across the bottom of her, like her ankle, I guess. But your hand touches the pantsuit, and then for a second you can feel sort of contact with her skin, and she immediately sort of snaps around and she goes, what are you doing?
Checking for weevils. That's a Dominic Allen original, that one. Checking for weevils.
Weevils?
There's been a weevil infestation in the building and I'm trying to figure out where they are.
Why are your hands all so mucky?
I'm a servant.
I think she'd buy that immediately, but I will make you roll. Let's do bravado and persuasion.
Okay.
Is that 1 or 2?
I think it's a 1. It's a 1. Yes! It's a 5!
She's like, weevils? Why would weevils be infesting this area of the city?
There's been an outbreak. I have to touch the bottom of your garment just to protect you from the weevils. If I don't, the weevils could crawl inside you and infest your very being.
Well, could you at least... This is quite a nice suit that I'm wearing. Could you at least wipe your hands before you do?
Oh, yeah, of course. I pretend to wipe my hands, but then don't.
Okay, so you start to sort of smear more of this muck.
Yeah.
Just muttering, hear no weevil, see no weevil as you do it.
She's sort of bought the weevil lie, but she's kind of concerned about the... you can see her kind of fretting over the grease that's now kind of accumulating. After a while, she sort of says, okay, stop, I think we're safe from weevils.
You're safe now, you're safe now. I'm going to go and do the rest of the guests.
Okay. And she watches you quite closely as you walk off.
I start doing it to someone else.
Okay. Let's have a roll for wit sharp, please.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, so you managed to do it.
Flop here is over.
Is he watching from somewhere?
So you managed to smear it on a few people without actually noticing, but you make it look like you're checking for this thing. But she's keeping an eye on you as you're doing it, but it's not really spreading this scandal throughout the crowd.
I feel more smeared than the reputation of Willibald.
Since his wife's been getting ploughed by other people all the time in front of him while he's in the closet watching from the slats.
He absolutely loves it.
Yes.
The bigger the men are, the better, I hear.
The more he gets off on it.
That's what I hear.
Tell your friends.
He hasn't really told many people, so we should spread it.
Spread it out there. Where's that newsie?
Yeah, I got a scoop for you, kid.
That's old news.
And you can see that, you sort of, you manage to make it look like you're checking a few different people, and you kind of like something off, and you are smearing this stuff on people. You do make a little bit of a show of it with people that you kind of trust. Like, you managed to get Marvin's sweetheart as he's come back into the building, and you spread it. He's like, oh, what are you doing, Lavinia?
Oh, I've come up with a cunning plan.
What is it then?
So, doubtlessly and definitely maybe are wearing the same clothes, right?
Oh, because they're twins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've managed to smear grease on doubtlessly. So we know that she's doubtlessly. She's not definitely.
We definitely know she's doubtfully.
We definitely know that she's doubtfully.
Yeah, all right, not doubtfully, but definitely.
We don't doubtfully know that she's definitely.
It's not doubtfully that we know she's definitely the maybe that
exactly,
we thought she was.
you've got it.
Okay,
You've got
You
it.
also just said doubtlessly before, which is a different sister altogether.
Plus scandal. I guess
Plus scandal.
Doesn't matter. It's Marvin. He's fine. He's in the club. Marvin sort of takes that and he plays along with the bit until you clock that doubtfully stopped watching. She is still fretting about this grease, and you can see that she begins to sort of make her way over to the bathroom.
Fuck.
Let's.
My plan.
But it's Rolls Royce grease, which is the creme de la creme of
Yeah, it's tough.
Does that make it easier or harder?
She rolled a 6 on 2 dice.
Oh, it's
She
gone.
does a pretty good job of getting rid of it. There is a mark that remains, but you sort of you're watching. You see her go into the bathroom. You see her come out, and what was kind of almost the entire back of the ankle of her trousers painted
Is
is now
clear.
just a smaller dot, so harder to notice,
Okay.
but still noticeably there.
Still there. Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. So she's in the room now. The performance is still ongoing. What's the big finale, Lady Ashley?
I'm frantically trying to light this on fire by just clicking my fingers at the end because I don't have a lighter because you've been gone dousing people in grease. So I'm still just sort of spittling into the French horn. So then I give up and then I raise it above myself. And then I bring it crashing down on my knee and bend the French horn in half. And then let it clatter there.
And the French horn over your knee?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's definitely bravado.
Yeah, okay.
It's hard, so I'm going to say breaking. How many dice? You got?
1.
You got 1. Okay, we'll leave it at 1 then.
You're so mean to me just because I'm an aristocrat.
Oh god.
2.
You break your leg.
You
Becoming more
slam this French horn into your own leg, and there is a crunch as it hits, and you can feel on your hands the bottom of the horn is intact.
Oh, God.
We're going to say that you've just moved from healthy to scuffed.
Not injured?
No, the injured is quite crippling if you are injured because you can't actually use any of your abilities until you are healed. In the game Flabbergasted, there are 3 different states. You have healthy, you have scuffed, and you have injured. If you become scuffed, it just means that that will be noticeable about your character, that you were kind of in disarray, which in a world in which people's reputations is at stake could be scandalous. If you have an injury, it means that you can't use your abilities until you are fully healed. Well, so we will say you've moved to scuffed, and definitely. What have you worn to this party?
What have I worn? A pink sequin gown and large white fur coat.
Oh, real theatre of the mind stuff. So yeah, the pink gown has both gin splashes up it now, which quite a fair bit of spittle that had gathered in the bottom of the horn, and
motorbike
has
I forgot to release the spit valve.
and has ripped in a few places as you kind of do that, and the crowd sort of giving
gone mad.
kind of soft applause, confused looks across their faces.
So, can I just clarify? You've just dribbled into a French horn and then hit yourself
For
on it
5
and gone,
minutes.
and that's it.
And at which point Walter Tewksbury Light chimes up and says, "Speech!" looking you directly in the eyes as he does so.
I clear my throat, limp towards the microphone on the bandstand, curl my hand around it, gaze directly forward through my owl mask and say, don't you know who I am?
Scene cue.
Ooh.
A hush falls across the crowd. I am the widowed Lady Jessica Ashley, heir to the American branch of the Rolls-Royce fortune. My father invented the automobile. And I am here to remind you in whose era you are living now.
It's like a wrestling promo.
Yeah, there is no reverb on this mic. That hasn't been invented yet. But you're just going, now.
I carry on the reverb into the crowd. No.
Marvin joins in as well. No.
Did your dad invent the car? Fucking hell.
Yep. So, well, people...
It's the 20s. It's plausible.
What? Is this in the real world? Increasingly, it's not.
It's not in the real world.
This seems like a real world to me.
It's just very 1920s inspired, but it's got a lot of kind of Jules Verne and other bits and pieces.
Henry Voiture.
My dad invented the car.
Yeah, so you're in this world. Your dad did invent the car.
Fucking
The Rolls-Royce Phantom is a car in which a motorbike can drive out the front and then splits into a unicycle.
The dice don't lie.
Invoking your family name does bring people kind of into line in this moment. It shuts up Tewkesbury Light, and the crowd are once again kind of enraptured. There's a few murmurings of people being like, "Oh, it's a bit gauche to bring up your family name right now. Bring up a widow on the stage. How embarrassing."
I go behind those people and I go, now.
And they're like, oh. And they kind of shocked for a second. As kind of things wrap up, you take a step down from the stage, I'm assuming. That which you kind of cede it back to the band. The band walk up to the pianist, goes and says, "Hello, we are Hans and the Zimmermans, and we will be entertaining you tonight." And they start playing a little jazz.
Hans and the Zimmermans.
Hans and the Zimmermans. As they kind of strike up, the staff begins circulating with drinks again, and you can see the maybe with the slight mark on the back of her ankle come back out of the toilets, and Tewkesbury Light begins to make his way over to her. But we are going to cut downstairs to the crypts and find out what's going on down there. So, who you assume is definitely maybe is down there with you, ready for her GNU experience.
Mind your step, it's murder on heels, let me tell you. Really watch your step in this place.
It is just terrible. They're so steep, these stairs.
Very treacherous, and I presume it's because most people, when they come down here, they're not going back out again, because they're dead. Well, don't be alarmed by the giant half GNU on the sinister altar. This is all part of the magic of what we're going to attempt, which is to communicate with someone from beyond. And that someone isn't a human, it's going to be a demon.
A demon?
That's right. The idea is that there's other planes of existence, and on some of those planes there are creatures that we can't really understand, but know an awful lot about us, and it's quite interesting. Some of them are very helpful, and don't the name demon put you off. Of course, some of them are very malevolent.
This is dangerous.
Incredibly dangerous, madam.
I'm not sure that I want to take part in something dangerous on the eve of my art debut.
I believe
people do.
I believe what Master Pukes wishes to say is that it's dangerous in the way that all good art is dangerous, in that we are experiencing the new and we are pushing at boundaries, but not physically dangerous. Purely, he is a colourful man using colourful words to describe what boundaries we shall push. That's what you mean? Is that not right, Master Pukes?
Pukesk.
Genuinely keep getting that wrong. Master Pukes. Master Pukes.
Pukesk. Very well put, Reginald. Yes, what I mean to say is that it's better experienced than not, and hard to explain, but easy to have, and better to do.
better to do, well then it best be done.
Then let's do it. At once. Definitely. Definitely, maybe. Miss Maybe. It's hot in here, isn't it? These heels, very tight.
Cutting off the blood supply.
Well, if you'd like to have a seat next to Ottolenghi, my stuffed badger with the fez, we'll begin at once. Reginald, of course, will now go upstairs, out of the way, but he'll go via a different route through this small curtain next to the altar here. Don't be alarmed by that. It's just another way for servants to go.
I wish you a wonderful performance, Miss Maybe. Good day to you, sir.
And you have to kind of get on your hands and knees really under the altar. Off he goes, back upstairs. So it's just you and I now.
Do you want her to believe this? Or?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, we're going to need a little persuasion roll.
Oh, dear. Oh, pants. That's one die, but I don't know. I'm feeling... Wait a minute, have I got anything I can use on this?
Can I help with this?
No, I don't know.
I do have a guiding hand. You've secured the trust and respect of the gentry. Would maybe count as gentry?
I do.
It says you can get aristocrats to agree with you or do your bidding.
Maybe is a bohemian.
Okay. I do have the academic. I'm well educated and an academic, even if I mostly study the supernatural. I can use this to impress those around me or recall important information to aid me in a predicament. It would increase my dignity.
Okay.
Would that do it?
Yeah, well, let's say you could use that to maybe distract her as this is happening, as you're going through the curtain. Maybe you...
Oh, yes, I start waffling on. Well, it's quite interesting, actually, how I got into demonology. You see, I was in the Lebanon. On my way back from Egypt, we'd been to Canaan, and we got lost in a spontaneous rainforest. It's a phenomenon that happens once every 200 million years, where a rainforest will appear and disappear because of the weather. But
like an oasis.
Exactly, but mobile and highly unpredictable, and because of that, we were able to locate a lost tomb that was hypothetical, but turned out was real. And then we went inside, and lo and behold, there was this demon who taught me how to communicate with demons. Unfortunately, the only way I can do it is by stuffing dead animals as host bodies for the demons, and then I lure them into the taxidermied creature, and then they become animate and speak.
That's insane.
Well,
but some people always say that about other art, is that, you know, there are paintings that are haunted. There are things like the Great Red Dragon that people see, and it speaks to them and it tells them to do such terrible things.
Does it?
Yes.
That's incredible. Tell me more about this Red Dragon.
The Great Red Dragon, it's a huge painting of Satan.
Oh.
His form is the Great Red Dragon.
Oh, and it's real.
Musculature on his back, yes, it's quite
The painting
real.
speaks.
That's what people have said.
Well, it must be true.
If
If people have said it, it must be true. Why wouldn't they say it if it wasn't true?
Well, people say all sorts of things.
And they're always true.
Mostly true.
In my experience, young miss, everyone I've spoken to has always told me the truth.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Every single person has told you.
I know it sounds hard to believe, but I believe it very easily.
I believe that you believe them.
I'm sure this GNU is going to start moving.
I've escaped long ago. Have you told me what you want?
No.
Okay.
But I'm hoping you realise, because you're a good butler.
I am a good butler, but I do not know what you want me to do.
Okay, well, what do you think he sees on the other side?
I think you see... he just comes out the other side of the altar, so you're sort of hidden, and you've got like the half GNU to get in. You could get into it.
Okay, so yeah, you've got
going to do a ritual.
Basically, you've got the hollow. Yeah, you kind of climb through the back of this little curtain around the back of the altar. You can see that the GNU. On the other side, the GNU sort of sticking out from behind this curtain. It's been sort of kind of crudely pinned around it to leave it kind of bursting out, almost like it was mounted. It's split almost entirely in the middle and hollowed out It's been kind of taxidermized, so you've got this kind of leathery skin that forms a kind of shape. You've got, you can see that it kind of goes up in one direction if you stick your head in, and then you've got two bits that go down.
Sorry, it's got two bits
that point downwards. So you would assume it's got two front hooves and it's got a mouth.
Okay.
And I whisper into the GNU's mouth as I turn around and go, well, I'm going to begin the ritual now, and I have to whisper the secret word into the mouth of the GNU to bring the demon forth. And then I whisper into the mouth of the GNU, just be grateful it's not the ass.
Okay. So I hear that, and I suppose there's nothing else back here.
No.
All right. I place my head and hands inside the GNU corpse.
Okay.
Oh, mighty Banaflaki, I think that's the demon's name, come forth into this GNU, and if you are with us, please animate its body mystically. Please, thank you.
Okay. So am I poking through the curtain?
Yeah, you're basically you've stuck your body inside this GNU. You can see there's kind of like you can see out of the nostrils of a little bit of like a little glimmer, and you can see definitely maybe sat in the chair almost directly opposite. You can see the shadow of Pusk as he sort of weaves back and forwards.
Okay. So I'm just gonna very slowly raise the head of the GNU. Just like imperceptibly slowly
with one of your hands. So you've got.
So I can't put my head.
So you can put your head into the. Yeah, you can put your head in.
I've got hands in, and then.
I guess you're going to use your head. Right.
I'm going to use my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to slowly raise it, but like imperceptibly slowly.
Okay. So like, there's a moment where sort of you've said, "Please raise your head," and there's like an almost uncomfortable. Like silence and nothing really happening, and there's a little bit of shuffling that can be heard from behind the altar, and then this head starts to raise, and definitely maybe why don't we roll? Let's roll wit and sharp.
This is me?
Yes, from
all right. Okay, rolling for wit and sharp.
Let's go.
5 and a 6.
Yeah.
5 and a 6. So yeah, this you begin to. There's a little bit of shuffling as you kind of conversing first of all when you're trying to climb your way inside the GNU, and then you manage to get in, and you're kind of it's imperceptible the fact that you're in there and manipulating it. And this head raises very slowly, and you can hear definitely maybe just go.
You see it? It's in the room.
And then when I hear that gasp, the head slowly turns to face Maybe.
Now, you must remain very calm, Miss Maybe, because what the demon will need is an offering, and this offering is normally a secret. So, for instance, what's that, you say? You want to know what the great animosity is between you and your sibling? Apparently that's what the demon wants to know, and if you don't placate it, I hate to think what would happen. I think we should probably tell it at once.
Come to me!
Oh my God! It does speak!
Bravado and persuasion, please.
Can I do anything to...
You can roll on that as well.
There's only one on this?
Played along.
6!
It's okay. No, you don't need to roll on that at all. So when you've said all of that, she says,
My name is Imhotep of the ancient Egyptian pantheon. Come to me!
Banaflaki, Imhotep. Me and Doubtfully fell out because she plagiarized my work. She had me kicked out of art school.
This is all?
That is quite enough. It ruined my life.
Your puny concerns are of no issue to me. Give me more!
And then what's his face? Reggie's like, Reggie, what are you doing?
More!
I don't know what's going on.
That was the most. I guess I stole a cigarette one time.
Madam,
It is not enough. You, peon! What have you done?
Madam, I must confess to
The
you.
face turns to you.
What have you done?
I must confess to you.
Tell it quickly before it eats us.
No, you must understand. I was trying to pull a trick on you You see, this was all meant to be a
What have you done?
Summon an actual demon!
It's real. It's absolutely real. It's 100% real. That's what I've done.
I give you 3 seconds before I eat you.
I tried to pull a trick on
3
on Miss Definitely and
2
Miss Maybe and
She runs out.
No, stop, please. We need to know more.
She runs out of the room and she's gone upstairs and she is making her way back to the bar where her sister is.
Well, I hope you're happy, Imhotep.
So terribly. What came over me?
You don't understand, Reginald. As soon as you got inside it, a real demon came called Imhotep, and it wanted to know all sorts of things. I think we should get out of here. I've already seen a ghost today.
No, I don't mean to be impolite, sir, but I believe that what you consider to be a demon, I may have gotten slightly carried away. I may have some issues that I need to discuss with a close friend.
What, Reginald? I think that's very hard to believe.
What did I say?
You said. Well, I said. You've got to tell him what happened between you and your sister, and she said that she plagiarized her and got her kicked out of art school. I was going to ask, well, what would she say if it was the other way around? And I think it would probably be the same thing. But then you said that you weren't Banaflacky, you were Imhotep the something or other, and then you got really cross, and then you demanded to know what I'd done. And I confessed that I tricked Miss Maybe, and that's everything that's happened.
Oh dear.
And I think I've soiled my trousers.
He said, gazing in anaphylactic shock.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very good.
May I propose that we hurry upstairs in great haste?
Yes.
And you get some new trousers.
Oh, very good. Can I have yours, please?
Absolutely not.
So you trot off even more awkwardly in your heels this time and make your way up the stairs back to join the main room. But you are a good couple of minutes behind maybe right now. You guys are upstairs having just finished your performance in which you name dropped the shit out of the Ashley name, saying your dad created automobiles. You, as you were finishing up, noticed that Tewkesbury Light was making his way over to Doubtfully Maybe, who's made her way back from the toilets. He sort of says something to Pevensie, and then he begins to make his way over to Doubtfully Maybe. And you kind of just see them begin to converge in the crowd. What are you doing?
I elbow my way through the crowd to get to them so that I can schmooze and be my charming, flirtatious self and tempt Doubtfully away from their conversation for a bit of girl chat.
Okay, so you kind of make your way over and you see that Tewkesbury's just got over and he says, wonderful evening, isn't it, Miss Maybe? Would you care to join me in one of the exhibition rooms? Maybe we should take a tour of the art on the walls. How about, which is it? Room 2. Or is it room 1?
Who is he talking to right now?
He's talking to who you believe is Doubtfully Maybe.
All right.
And he wants to take her to room 1.
Does he know?
Are you sure? Maybe he wants to take it too.
Let's take her to room 1.
Damn it. That's not good.
Doubtfully, darling, it's so good to see you. Have you had any gin yet?
I've had a little smidgen as I came in, but mostly mint juleps.
Oh, well, you have to try. We distill our own gin here. Let me get my girl, Bennett.
Yes, mistress.
Bennett.
Yes, I'm already here, mistress.
She's
I'm
here.
stood right next to you.
Well, it took you this long because you didn't take the rocket cycle.
Right.
Bennett,
I'll take it next time.
thank you. Would you please get our lovely guest of honor a glass of our finest gin?
Okay, so you snap your fingers, and when you were snapping your fingers for Bennett, the bike actually thought it was summoning it, so the
that
bike
makes
turns
sense.
up. You hop on the bike and you begin to make your way over to the bar.
Question: has the unicycle recombined with the bike? Is it the whole thing, or is it just the unicycle?
Yeah, whenever I stop, right, when it's after a 30-second dormancy period, it reconnects.
Yeah, well, actually, the problem is it needs the French horn to connect the two pieces.
the French
Otherwise,
horn's
it doesn't work. The French horn is
part of the
actually
bike.
it's like in the sort
It's
of
an exhaust pipe.
It's near the it's an exhaust pipe that functions as a connector.
Well, no, that's really logical.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So
And
welcome to the
gin
world.
still when I'm in the backcountry.
This is set in London, 1925. This whole thing. You hop on the bike to go over to the bar to fix this drink. And as you do, you notice
through a crowd of people.
Yeah, people are just making it. They're used to it at this point. As you're making your way through, you spot somebody entering the room. Somebody in a turquoise pantsuit.
I run her over. I'm joking. I don't want to roll. Who is in the room at this point?
Who is in the room? Everyone. The entire party is congregated here. No one has been shepherded into, apart from you guys who are making your way out from the crypt. Basically, everyone apart from people manning the reception area are in this room right now. And at this exact moment in time, both maybes are within this crowd of people.
Both wearing masks.
Both wearing masks, both wearing identical clothing. What are you going to do?
We need to get rid of one of them.
Maybe by running over?
Well, it's an axe job. She walks into the room and she begins to make her way up to the bar. The other one is probably closer to the performance area, having gone round the bar to see the stage. You're in conversation with them directly. So, what are you going to do? You guys are probably still
We're running
a
up the
minute,
stairs.
a minute off.
I'm unfortunately you got to the stairs first, so you're slowly making your way up in heels, and I'm behind you, and it really stinks.
Careful.
My face is at arse height, and it reeks because of all the poo in your pants.
Oh, the poo.
Poo in the canoe.
Sorry. Oh dear, what a mess. I really hope we sort out this social club because, well, I don't have much of a social life outside of the club, Reginald. I don't mind telling you that. This is my lifeline.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Don't make me cry about this man.
I understand, sir. I will make sure we do everything to keep this club intact.
Except for the ballooning holidays I go on. Mostly with old ladies. They're a hoot. Actually, they're better than the social club. But still, the social club is a good thing to have around, I suppose.
We'll do our best to keep it intact,
Tobogganing
sir.
I'm also into.
Okay.
You just like this.
Yes, sir. Do continue, sir. Please, if you would move at a light clip. We have business upstairs.
I'm afraid this is the fastest lick I can do in these heels. If you want someone moving fast in heels, you need to speak to my wife, Marjorie.
Upstairs, as you're making your way to the bar, Lavinia, you're kind of getting a drink fixed from the bar, and you can see this other maybe arrives at the bar to order a drink. At the moment, her view is blocked by the bar itself of the other one, who is probably just 100 metres away. No, less than 100 metres away, probably 30 metres away on the other side.
I'm going to offer her a drink.
Sorry. Picturing Tom's character in heels, fully shit his pants, staggering upstairs. Talking about Marjorie. Poor Reggie's just like, please hurry up. Please.
Shuffy isn't so bad now, is he?
Volcano.
Volcano.
Yeah, trying not to really be sick.
Gross.
Sorry.
So you're going to offer her a drink?
Yes, but I'm going to lace it with a huge amount of gin.
Okay.
Enough gin to make her unwell and want to go home.
And want to go home?
Yeah.
Okay. So let us see.
A Lady Ashley quantity of gin.
Yeah, we should probably use creativity and passion here to creatively disguise the flavours of so much gin.
Let's get creative, y'all.
Oh my god!
That's 3 6s.
You rolled 3 6s.
Number of the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah!
With a 666, this gin just tastes like juice. It is.
Delicious.
It is
Sipping on
so
gin and juice.
drinkable. You take a tiny little sip of it as you make it, just to make sure that you've disguised the flavour of the gin. And there's a moment where you're thinking, maybe I'll continue drinking this, but you hand it off over to doubtfully maybe.
I've had one sip and I'm already like,
Has a little sip and she's like,
"Oh."
this is delicious. This is one of the finest drinks I've ever had.
Thank you, madam. Enjoy. Drink it quickly, won't you, so I can make you another?
Oh, yeah, I will. And she begins to sort of slap it down with a straw. Meanwhile, over with Tewkesbury Light and definitely maybe, he's still saying, maybe we should go check out one of the exhibition rooms. Lady Ashley, would you not lead the way to, I don't know, maybe room 1?
Room 1? Well, what's in room... Well, why... It's awfully curious to me, it seems, how you just rock up to this crypt with an intimate knowledge of its rooms?
I
Tewksbury.
merely am a patron of the arts. I would merely like to see some of the art that we are here to see at this exhibition, or are we not exhibiting the art?
Oh, this is, of course, a friendly art exhibition with the creme de la creme of this town invited. That's why I was shocked to see you here.
No.
So you're outright just gonna let's have a bravado and persuasion to see if you can make him back down from this.
I lock eyes with him.
Oh.
It's a 2.
Okay, he says, I merely wanted to see the great art from the great artist that we are in the midst of. How can we not celebrate Miss Maybe if we do not see the work that she is so well known for? And Miss Maybe is like, yes, I would very much like to see the exhibition now.
Well, Tewksbury, I see you are hell-bent on disrupting the very well-organized order of activities we'd planned.
Hard to disrupt something that has already been dribbled on by somebody's French horn playing.
Ooh.
Wow.
Need I remind you who I am?
Oh no, I've already used that. You already used that
I
power.
know, that's why I said need I.
You need not remind me who you are, Widow Ashley.
Widow. Shots fired.
Speaking out of turn.
Shots fired.
You know
haven't
it was extremely distressing for me to see that shuttlecock fly cleanly through Cuthbert's brain, right on the grounds of our badminton court that fateful afternoon 2 years ago.
I overstrung his racket.
And you bring it up on this, the day of...
He just whispers that to
Did you
himself.
just confess murder?
No.
Does this world also not have laws?
Yeah, it doesn't have any laws.
Doesn't have
at all.
physical laws or legal
we
laws.
don't do physics or laws.
You make me sicker than my sickly son, Hubert. Fine. Perhaps it is time for us to descend to the crypts to look at the art. Maybe we do need to face up to things. I take a swig of gin, then I pull another bottle out of my sleeve.
Yes.
Go on.
I wonder what that was.
So which room are you going to go to?
I'm going to say I'm leading her down to room 1, but I'm going to feign drunkenness and totter her into the correct room 2.
Okay, wonderful. Let us have a wit and sharp to see how well you play off the drunkenness. Surely. You've got how many dice?
3.
3. Surely.
Oh, a 6, a 5, and a 3.
Beautiful.
Good at the wit and sharp.
Suivez-moi!
Yeah, so you, with a beautiful, kind of feint, you're like, yes, it's just, and you sort of stumble in the right direction, and they just sort of, you take the hand of Doubtfully Maybe as you go, and you kind of drag her into this room, and you go through the doors, and some of the other guests begin to kind of trickle through as the doors are opened, having been well behaved and stayed in the bar where they were asked to be, and you can see that the room is, it's kind of, again, continues that kind of vaulted, arched ceiling style, but the walls here are slightly higher. You have more of that kind of, you can tell that this was a crypt, but they've kind of artfully arranged various little sculptures and bits into some of the indentations where there would have been the skulls like you saw downstairs. And then hanging between these kind of bits are many of the paintings, which are all different kind of shapes layered to make different pictures. You've got mostly like animals and people and a few sort of pastoral scenes, but the focus really does seem to be on creatures more so than on landscapes. Leading her in there, and they just begin to sort of walk around. You can see that Tewksbury Light is kind of perturbed by this, and he begins to sort of huff and hem and haw, and then he sort of makes his way off to go try and talk to somebody else. You two arrive in the main room after having made your way up the stairs. What are you going to do? You can see that Lavinia is over by the bar talking to one of the people wearing turquoise. You can see that from here you can't see another one in this room.
Okay.
what do I do, Reginald? I don't know. If anyone catches me in this state of befoulment, then my reputation may be at stake, and I'm spoken of very fondly in circles like this.
So canonically,
So's your wife.
Hey, canonically, I need to clarify. Have you actually shit yourself?
I don't know.
I do need, out of character, I do need to know. Has Dom Allen's character shit himself?
He said he shit himself.
Yeah, so.
I fear the worst, Reginald, and I don't know what will become of my trousers.
This rather looming figure appears, very tall, long nose, almost hangs over his mouth, and he says, "Gentlemen."
Oh, it's Mr. Sniffler, isn't it?
It is,
The
yes.
critic?
Art critic extraordinaire.
I knew as much.
I write for the Peccadillo papers.
Yes, well, I'm a great subscriber to the papers. Yes.
May I borrow you?
What is that smell?
Mr. Sniffler, allow me to show you, if I may be so bold, our new fine art. If you would just follow me into gallery number 2. I believe I will have some very intriguing artworks for you.
Bravado and persuasion, please.
Get him.
It's a 6 and a 4.
6 and a 4. He says, "Oh, yes, I suppose I should get to the work of a critic." And he follows you through into room 2, which is where doubtfully maybe's art is hanging, the trapezoidite room, and he begins to appraise all the different art. He's like, yes, very derivative. You can see the ways in which the forms borrow heavily from cubism, but they twist it ever so slightly.
May I also just say that I apologise for the occasional odour. This venue is built on a cesspit, and so every so often a scent may emanate from beneath. And I can assure you it has no... You're not here because you stink. I'm trying to get him away from you.
He says, yes, but I have quite
You just peer in the doorway.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it's very interesting, actually.
I saw a ghost, and ghosts have a smell.
He says, yes, I have quite a discerning nostril. I also have a discerning eye for art. That's why I'm such a good critic. Why on earth would you hold this event in this gallery? Were it to smell like a cesspit?
I shouldn't like to speak out of turn, but my understanding is that the visual effects were so powerful that we considered the olfactory effects irrelevant. But I can see that a man of such distinct senses as you would be affected by both. So consider it a lesson well learned.
Let's do culture and etiquette.
Ooh, oh no, I've got 3 on that. I also might. Maybe we may as well use their things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to use unflappable.
Yep.
Your years of working with different employers and customers mean you've endured your fair share of tantrums and threats. Through your experience, you know how to keep your cool and stand your ground. You cannot be intimidated. He's kind of trying to intimidate me, right? With his superior knowledge.
He's definitely trying to call your bluff on this thing. So I'd allow you to use unflappable for that.
Cool. All right. I'll use it. It's
Okay,
done.
so you
cannot be flapped.
You kind of what do you say?
So I think similar to what I said, which is that we've kind of learned our lesson, but we were going for we were intending for such a strong visual aesthetic. We may have omitted to consider certain other factors, and I can assure my good sir that we will never be returning to this venue. But I hope that you can overlook such odours in favour of the visual splendour of the art. I'm sure a critic of your perspicacity would understand.
He says, yes, there is certainly something about the ancient tomb that we are in being juxtaposed against the sheer modernity of the art. Something so new and fresh against something so old and battered. I couldn't smell aside.
I couldn't agree more. What a profound statement.
Thank you. And he begins to just make his way, doing the rounds. Meanwhile, in the main room in the bar, you're there stinking of shit, and you can see that coming out of you kind of, as you're sort of left by these guys who've gone into room 2, you see exiting the door to room 1 Cressington Pevensey, who kind of makes his way back through the door, looks to one side, looks to the other side, shuts the door, and then moves off into the crowd.
As if he's done something in room 1. Oh, we'd best get to the bottom of this.
At that moment, Marvin kind of appears and he says,
Oh, hello, sweetheart.
Hello, sir. It's probably about time to start moving people into the various side rooms. so they can see the exhibition, because we've got to do the main event soon where we unveil the main painting.
Yes, but first of all, sweetheart, I'm worried about foul play. I think I need to
My
check...
trousers.
I need to check room 1, and I need you to come with me. And we need to do it in private. There mustn't be anyone in there when we check.
Okay, well, all right, let's go really quickly. Hang on. Room 1 leads to the main exhibition, where we've got the 2 paintings.
I beg your pardon?
With the paintings, the first paintings that they both painted in their career.
Oh, bother! I do wish Blowface had told us this.
I'm so flabbergasted.
I'm so flabbergasted. Oh, poo.
You don't think something's happened, do you?
I think something terrible has happened, sweetheart.
I can't take it. I've seen a ghost today.
Me too. And I've seen a demon spirit to me as well.
Did you smell that? Have I shit myself?
We've got to get you into room 1 before you do, because it's the only way I'm going to survive this evening.
I'm on the cusp.
Well, please hold it in, because I need to swap trousers with you.
I'm prairie dogging, sir.
I've got just the thing, sweetheart. We're going to go in room 1 and have a quick look. We'll swap trousers. My trousers are already fouled, which means you'll be free to shit yourself. And I'll have your trousers, so I'll be clean.
I'm not sure, sir. I don't know if that's really the plan, because I've got a lot of people to speak to. I'm the secretary of this club.
Yes, but in my experience...
I've got to press the flesh, not touch the cloth.
Did you say infouled?
Oh my god.
I've got to press the flesh, not touch the cloth.
Yeah, that's very good.
The thing is, sweetheart, better...
Take those trousers off.
Take the trousers off,
Too sweet.
sweetheart.
Well, here's another plan, sweetheart. Do you know if Reginald brought all of the animals that weren't currently taxidermied? Because I could make a fetching set of leatherette trousers for both of us.
Why is this a much more pressing issue? It's like, I think Reginald brought. There's a wheelbarrow full of stuff with a coat over it in the front.
It's a problem he created for himself out
It's a much more
nowhere.
pressing issue for me, because I'm currently still in a stream of my
We're
own
going to room
feculence.
1 or what, sir?
Yes, quickly now.
All right, should we bring Lavinia?
If we must.
Marvin quickly runs off and he comes over to you if you're still at the bar. Definitely, maybe, and he just says,
Oh, Miss Lavinia, we've got a bit of an issue. I've just seen Cressington Pevenson coming out of room 1 and Mr. Pusk thinks there might be foul play.
Well, like Mr. Pusk, am I right?
I pusked myself.
So I top up a little bit more gin into definitely maybe his glass. I just say, here you go, madam, I've just got to leave the bar.
she's
so
already looking a little bit tipsy. She's already started to sort of loosen up, and she's chatting to a few of the kind of gathered Bohemians, and she's saying, well, of course, my sister, she plagiarised my work, and that's why I was kicked out of art school. But it was a blessing, really. It was a blessing, because I wouldn't have founded the movement without the kick from the art pod. I was so clearly destined for that, and she's just going.
Yeah,
off
while
on this
she's
whole
chatting, I
story.
just top it
She's
up
just
almost
sort of,
like I'm just refilling in a...
She's high society, so she's
Yeah.
kind of used to since the kind of the quota movement has been on the rise. She's kind of used to this treatment.
Yeah.
Like she's got that kind of rock star vibe, so she kind of, without even batting an eyelid at you doing it.
Yeah, and then just to steady my own nerves, I just tip one out and just
Neck it back.
and run over to shit
It's
for pants.
fucking strong.
Yeah.
Marvin says,
Do you mind if I?
I just smash it in his face.
and he just
Get a
he
hold of
wakes him up.
yourself, sweetheart.
I saw a ghost today.
That was me, sweetheart. Come on, let's go.
Different ghost.
And he comes with you over, and you guys all go together into room 1. Moving into room 1, inside this exhibition gallery, it's much like the one on the other side. It's a lot of paintings and sculptures arranged in this old crypt. This bit seemed to have been being used as a wine cellar at certain points, so it has a few more kind of barrels and bottle racks and that kind of thing arrayed, but they've all been moved to one end. At the far end, though, there is a door that is slightly open at this moment in time.
What do you think he's done?
I don't know. I think the game's afoot, and we're going to have to go and have a look ourselves with our eyes.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong in here. All the paintings are hung up where they're supposed to be.
And you can see that, like, where you've placed everything is all fine.
Was
Have you shit yourself?
Yes, in the most terrible way. It's been in the most awful fashion. Not out of pleasure at all. I have to say, I'm quite flabbergasted.
It's making me want to. It's making me want to be sick. The smell.
Why did you have to clarify that it wasn't fashion?
Because he does some. Because he does. This is what he does when he goes ballooning and tobogganing.
That wasn't on my mind, so we'll see if we can get you some new, fresh.
I'm going to swap trousers.
Some fresh shoes.
Sweetheart's he's focused on this door. And he just says like,
trying to do
That's not supposed to be open. I had that lot. I had the key right. Oh, someone's taken the key.
Oh,
You've been pickpocketed, sweetheart.
Someone's really light fingered around here.
Yes, and not me for once. Well, come on then, and I start undoing his belt.
He sort of just lets you take the belt. He moves towards the room in the back.
Slow down, I'm not getting in
We're never getting out of this art gallery, guys.
So he
Hard to keep up with you in these heels.
So he's kind of holding up his trousers as he goes. Marvin's sweetheart makes his way into the little back room, and you just see this figure like hobbling with his trousers falling down around his ankles as you're holding his
Now the main quest.
And he stops as he makes his way across the threshold of the room. And you can't quite see because it's quite dark in there. But he just stops. You just see one hand go to his head, the other hand go to his head. His trousers fall down around his ankle, and he just goes, "Oh my God! Oh no! Oh my God! Mr. Blowhart's gonna have my head for this." You guys make your way into the room.
Yeah.
Can I come and join you guys? I can probably follow the scent.
You can go. Yeah, you can all go if you
Haven't
want
got rid of sniff.
Yeah.
You're kind of still with Doubtfully maybe, so maybe you kind of extricate yourself from the conversation. Quite confident they're going to stay in that room and admire the art in there. Maybe you set her up with Sniffler, the art critic, who's just walked into the room, and you all make your way
happily slagging off her art
into room 1. He's very polite in the presence of the artist because he wants to be as well liked as they are. And you make your way in, and you kind of gather around the figure of Marvin, who you can see is wearing like the classic kind of white big heart boxers. And over his shoulder, you can see that in this room, hung on opposing walls, were clearly 2 separate paintings. However, both frames are empty, with what looks to be cut marks going all the way around the edge of both, and on the floor, tattered remains of canvas. And you can kind of make out the shapes of different things. You can see all these kind of different 4-sided shapes in these ripped up bits of canvas on the floor. And Marvin says,
Oh no, they got both of them. We don't have the end of the exhibition anymore because we were going to show the pieces, the ones that got them kicked out of school.
Let's set it on fire. Let's set the building on fire. No one will ever know.
You want to set the building on fire?
What else are we going to do?
The phoenix rises from the ashes.
Exactly.
Lady Ashley, but your money's in this.
I assume you have a robust insurance policy.
Can't we just...
You're
Can't we just make another one? Do you know what? Can't we have to... This has got to be something better than burning it down.
Surely it's still salvageable. With my stitching skills, I just approach this like I would. It's like the opposite of taking the skin off of a moose, except the other way round. So I'll be putting the skin back on the moose, but the moose is a canvas and the skin is canvas.
you start to hear the sound of people beginning to make their way into room 1. As you guys came through, that door was left open, and you can hear Blowhard from the other room say, "Come this way, everyone. Let's have a little look at what Miss Maybe has created, and then we'll go into the main exhibition."
If you're going to do something reckless and mad, now's the time to do it.
So Marvin,
distraction while I stitch
really
these.
quickly shuts the door behind you, so you are now all in this room.
How long's it going to take you?
Well, it'll take me a couple of minutes to get his trousers on, because I think he's a thinner man than me. But
I think you should just forget about the trousers for now and just focus on fixing the paintings.
Marvin's
if that's
just
what you
like,
want to
Just take them, whatever you need.
Thank you.
Just as a reminder, sir, you will need underwear as well. I believe the excrement's probably centered in your underwear.
I was going to go commando.
Okay. But if
Oh,
you need
not
to
in
do a
my
full
trousers,
swap,
please. When will the indignity end?
may I make a suggestion? So I have an ability called Devil in the Details. Master the art of subtle sabotage. Tweak and modify things in a way to cause some misfortune or embarrassment down the line without drawing any attention to yourself. Now, it appears to me, if I may be so bold, that we've been put in a rather tricky position by our good friends Tewkesbury and Pevensey? I can't read
Cressington
my writing.
Pevensey of the Midas Society.
Now, we could potentially turn this to our advantage. These paintings have been destroyed, but the culprits have not been discovered yet. Would it be possible for we to make clear who did this, given we know who did it? And so, yes, the outrage will still be occurring, but it will be, potentially could be redirected towards the true culprits. And we could blame it on those naughty little boys at the Midas Society. Just a suggestion.
Ching ching. I put my lighter away.
How would
What
we
do we
do
think?
that?
Well, if we can find a way to get these destroyed canvases into the possession of those two rapscallions and then cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war, maybe they take the blame? Or we could also burn the building to the ground.
That's plan C. What if we put the paintings back together and we put them in their car and said that they stole them?
I like it. What do we think?
It's not the worst idea in the world, I suppose.
Is your French horn dry, Mum?
Always. Except sometimes it isn't. But it is right now.
So just to clarify, the plan is you're gonna put the paintings back together
Yes.
and then hide them in the Midas Society's car.
Yes, then frame them.
And then so when people come into this room and they don't see
Frame
any
them.
paintings.
Very
Good, very good.
Sorry,
That's unintentional joke of the day.
sorry, sweetheart, what do you say?
I'm just incredibly worried. That's all. I just want to make sure we're clear on what the plan is.
I do wonder if we're going to put them back together anyway, we should do it so that when they come in, everything's fine, and then we get revenge afterwards.
Yes.
Save the scandal, I agree.
Yes.
I do happen to have a network of
Spiders.
eccentrics at my disposal. I have this extraordinary help that I can rely on. A network of a strange array of characters willing to help me out when I need it, and their eccentric interests mean they can source just about anything. It is a scandalous thing because they're all quite mad, but maybe I could put the word out. Maybe they'd be useful in some way. I don't know if they'd help us directly right now.
How quickly do you think they could turn up?
Well, we're underground. That's where most of them live.
Okay, because we do have
Are
about...
they rats?
No, they're mad.
They're just mad.
They work in academia.
We do have around 2 minutes,
Oh,
I would
right.
say. It might be a little tricky.
Well, I don't think I'm even going to get out of these crappy pants in 2 minutes,
I think we can either try and hide all the bits
because some of it's dry,
and then frame the other guys, or we try and put this back together. I don't really know.
set like cement.
You can honestly do whatever you want.
No, but I think those two strategies make sense. Do we feel... I mean, I defer to you, my lady. Would you prefer that we recombinated these pictures, or we simply blame our dear colleagues at the Midas Society?
Let's take the Midas Society down.
Okay. So, with that in mind, if your goal is to take the paintings out of this room without being noticed, you're going to have to take them through a crowd of people who are gathered in the room outside. In doing so, there is still the issue of the maybes bumping into each other. And also you need to work out how you are going to frame the Midas Society. So, that's my question to you. How are you going to do those things?
Well, I think because the paintings are all in pieces, we just take bits and we stuff them inside our
Yes.
clothes. So that we just look like we've been a bit padded out. But that's it. So we can escape back through the crowd that way.
Okay, so you are going to, each of you, stuff your clothes and then move through the crowd that way.
Wait, I have an idea. Because I didn't actually use it earlier, my hidden nooks and crannies. I rolled for it. But I do still have hidden nooks and crannies. If you give me just a moment, I may be able to run my hand along the walls to spot any drafts. Because you see, sometimes in subterranean rooms like this, often there's a secret passage. We might be able to circumvent the crowd and slip out of here. No one will even know they'll say it's impossible we were in here. So therefore, we couldn't possibly have stolen the paintings. What do you think?
Very good, sir.
I'll use it at once.
You sort of you sort of open your mouth and you let out this high-pitched noise, and you begin to echolocate, and you can hear you hear this sort of bounce back coming from the wall right at the back, and you're like, this wall's hollow.
This wall's hollow. And the reason is quite interesting. You see,
Marvin's already starting to rip through the bits of the wall. Some of the bricks begin to come away, and you can see that there's a small gap that's kind of loose stone that can be opened up in here, and it leads into what seems like a kind of small passageway that loops back around and comes out. Maybe in the closet room that you guys were in earlier that led down into the crypts.
Fantastic.
So you guys are all gonna you begin to sort of hastily stuff stuff. Let's have a creativity and passion roll from everyone to see how well you manage to stuff your clothing without it making it look like you've got loads of things stuffed in, because there's quite a lot of these are quite large paintings.
May I use devil in the details? Master the art of subtle sabotage, tweak and modify things to cause some misfortune or embarrassment down the line without drawing attention to yourself.
Certainly. How would you like to do that?
Well, I suppose what I'd like to do is maybe I'll save this, because what I'd like to do is find a way to put the blame onto our rivals.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think I should use that now, or shall I wait until we're kind of putting it in their clothes?
I think you can wait until if you can think of how you would do that, then.
All right, I think I'll wait. Unfortunately, I only have one in this stat, so I was hoping to.
I do have a pitch for you on that front.
Okay.
I'm saying this as I'm stuffing things in, but having rolled a 4 and a 2, they're just all falling on the floor.
Okay.
What if we get some of the animals that haven't been stuffed and we stuff them with this and then give it as a gift or something to the Midas Society? I don't know what you think of that. Just a thought. Oh, bother, I seem to have thrown it all on the floor. I completely missed my pocket.
So you're just missing your pockets as you
I've
go.
rolled a 6, so I'm padded out.
Yeah,
like,
Marvin keeps handing them back to you. Like he's just scooping them off the floor and handing them back to you, and they're just continually falling in. Eventually, you manage to you pad out your shirt, but you've definitely got like bits of canvas sticking out of the buttons and things like that.
I've stuffed a lot of it down my trousers, so the canvas might not be usable.
You managed to line the inside of your kind of fur coat really nicely with things, and it's very evenly done. And when opened, it almost just looks like the internal lining of your coat.
I rolled a 3.
You've rolled a 3. What are you wearing? You're wearing sort of
like tails, white shirt, black trousers.
I think a very similar thing to Pusk here, that you've kind of stuffed your shirt full, but you've still got bits hanging out. What you don't notice is there's sort of some stuff hanging. You've sort of lined the hem of your trousers with them and the waistband, but you've got some bits sort of like just below your tails. You have a third tail dangling down of canvas. What about you, Tilly? What did you roll?
I rolled a 5.
So expertly done.
Yeah.
You managed to slip this under your you're wearing a maid's outfit, right? Something like that.
That's
you
right.
kind of like slide it in under there, like, and it just perfectly fits your kind of form without really any lumps or bumps. You guys all begin to make your way through the passageway, I hear.
It's all natural.
And on the other side, you can hear as you're leaving the little kind of cubby room with this exhibition that is now ruined in it, you can hear Blowhard on the other side of the door, and it's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event." And he's saying,
Richard Nixon.
"I'm not a crook." But he just says, "Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event." And then you hear him say, "This is art so thought-provoking that it got maybe kicked out of art school. Something so new, so bold, that the Academy tried to shut it down. I present to you the Black Cat." And you hear you guys have bricked up the wall again, and you're making your way through the passage, and you hear him say the Black Cat, and this door swings open, and then you just hear gasps as these 2 empty frames are seen, and you hear Blowhard saying, what's happened? Where, sweetheart!" And you can see Marvin like bristle as he's like walking along behind you all, picking up various bits of canvas that are falling out in this passageway behind you. You make your way around and you land into the closet room. What is your next step? Because you can hear that there's a huge commotion coming from this room 1 and the kind of like main exhibition
room, the sort of smaller one. And you can see that as you if you peek out the closet, you can see that people are making their way across the lounge room to kind of join, including doubtfully maybe.
We need to find the coat of our enemies from the Midas Club so we can grab their car keys, get into the boot, and unload all this shredded art.
A fine idea, miss. Well, where did we put people's clothes? I was giving out masks.
We're in the closet, aren't we?
You're in the closet. It's more of a utility closet.
Okay, it's not
a coat room.
It's not a coat room. Yeah, the coat room would be in the reception area that you came into, which is through this room and down the ways.
Quick, let's go through this room and down the ways to the coat room and find the keys, and then we can hide the shredded art in the boot.
Hotwire a car, or how to get into a car without a key.
You're right, but I didn't want to flex that talent now. All right, let's just go to the parking lot.
Okay, so you guys, you burst out of the closet and you're about to make your way through. You can see that you can hear this kind of hubbub coming from the room in which people have just discovered the ripped up paintings. You can see a lot of the patrons of the gallery are starting to make their way and filter through, and you can see leading, coming up sort of from behind of this pack is doubtfully maybe being led by Tewkesbury Light. She's kind of linked arms with him and he's leading. It's like, let's go see what all the hubbub is then, I guess. And they're moving their way through the venue towards where definitely maybe was in the other room.
I think we need to cause a bigger commotion to get them to turn around to come outside and see the art that we've planted.
I turn around and I just say, "Look, a ghost!"
Bravado and persuasion, please.
If I must. Just the one.
Just the one.
It's a 5.
It's a 5. You say, where are you pointing?
Just behind everyone so they go back, they don't come towards us.
So you're pointing back into the room 2 where they just came out of. So
I'm pointing whichever way is the best way for the plot.
Room 2's fine. Room 2's absolutely fine.
I point towards room 2.
So you point towards room 2 and you say, look, a ghost, and you see that people all begin to turn around and they're kind of, they're taking up the kind of cry, and doubtfully maybe didn't have quite the demonology experience, but like her sister is definitely interested in this sort of thing, and she's like, a ghost, I would be so interested to see a ghost. This place does feel absolutely haunted. And Tewkesbury Light is like, no, come on, miss, maybe let's go and see what all the hubbub is about. And it's like, well, maybe it was the ghost. Maybe that's what everyone's screaming about. Maybe there's a ghost running around the place. And you see people beginning to sort of, some of the people at the back are moving towards this. So you've bought yourself a couple of seconds.
Yeah. So we skittled to the car.
Yeah.
Skittle to. I locate their car because I know exactly what crappy automobile they're driving. It's certainly not a Rolls-Royce Phantom. I take another gin bottle from my sleeve and I start tapping on the little where you unlock the boot, and it doesn't work. So I take a little swig to get it to just the right amount, and I tap again, and it opens.
Well, it depends. Let's have a little roll for that, shall we?
Come on, you know.
No, it opens.
Her dad invented the car.
Mechanics.
You've shown disdain for mechanics the whole time.
What am I even fucking here for? Am I right? Roll.
Roll what?
Roll.
We're going to roll wit and sharp.
Fine, 3. A 5 and a 2 twos.
A 5 and 2 twos. Okay, so first set of taps, nothing really happens. You listen to the gin bottle for a second, you can hear it whispering your name, saying something about Mother's Ruin, and then you have another little sip, and then you take a little bit more. You give it quite a firm tap, nothing really happens, and you give it quite a hard tap, and the boot caves ever so slightly and then pops right open.
Great. And I unload all of the art shreds from me, and I grab the art shreds from you guys, and I unload it all into their boots successfully.
Okay, and then you...
And then I shut it.
Shut the boot.
And then another swig for good luck, and then I put it back in my sleeve.
Okay, and then you guys, what are you doing next?
We book it
Run back in.
So
We've
you
got to
book
make
it.
sure we're not spotted, because otherwise it will completely ruin our alibi, which was that we were cleaning my trousers.
Yes.
Can I
They're
take...
my trousers now, sir.
Yes.
Cleaning sweetheart's trousers.
Can I take the sign and become the ghost again?
You absolutely can. Yep. So as you guys, I assume you're just going straight back to the bar.
Yeah.
So you make your way back through the reception area. No one's really in there anymore. Even the staff have begun to filter into the bar area. All the commotion. As you walk through, you just give a little tug to this sign, and it just falls from where it's hung straight over you. This time on the other side, so the quota's not on the outside anymore, and it's all inside. You have no eye holes, so you're going to have to.
I just run through the crowd.
You just run through the
just
crowd.
run through
Okay, let's do a.
Doing a sonic call.
I guess we'll call this creativity of a sort.
I think it's
Let's
pretty
have let's have a
creative, Rory.
creativity roll.
Oh, it's a bad miss.
It's a bad miss. So you run.
Compelling though.
You run into the crowd.
So compelling. Everyone's like, wow, she's so compelling.
Who would have thought this ghost plan would go wrong?
Yeah.
No, it was
You guys are,
foolproof, John.
yeah. So everyone's sort of you've pointed out the ghost in room 2, and people have sort of had a little look in there to see if there was anything, and they turn around and then they see this sort of bolt in a sheet run through the room.
It's like caught my knickers.
And with no eye holes, you don't see that there's a chaise lounge coming up pretty quick, and you clip yourself on the shins and you go flying. We're going to make you scuffed now, and you land in a heap, rolling over yourself, and the kind of sheet unfolds around you, quite prominently displaying the word quota with an A and an E and an R in it on the floor, as Doubtfully Maybe turns to see the commotion, and she says, What's it this? Was this a prank? A silly prank at my art exhibition? I'm going to give you scandal for that, by the way.
Who could have done this?
She's starting to get slightly incensed, and you can see Tewkesbury Light is just looking at you, and he says, well, what would you expect from the Phoenix Club, of all things?
I'm not from the Phoenix Club, I'm a ghost.
You, young lady, are nothing. And you can see, Doubtfully Maybe, she's close to tears here. She's just like, I don't understand. This was meant to be my breakout moment, and while yes, the exhibition in there is lovely, I don't understand why you would do this prank in the middle of it. First of all, we had the blasted horn, the wet horn, and now we have a ghost.
Wet horn.
Why would you choose this venue? It stinks of shit in here.
Madam, maybe I can explain, or at least cast some light on the situation. I'm not sure.
Please do, says Tewkesbury Light.
Well, I may not know me. I'm Mr. Willibald Pusk.
I know you.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad. My reputation precedes me. But I was talking to the young lady here. I am something of an occultist. I dabble in psychic business, and I think we have all been the subject of an awful sabotage. But I think I can make communion with the other side, and perhaps if there is a ghost in this premises, which I think there probably is, we might be able to ask them if they've seen anything and point us in the right direction. Would you like me to attempt that for you, madam? Hopefully even the spectacle alone will be something to compensate for the horn business earlier, which I think was just simply a matter of damp in the air.
Bravado and persuasion, please.
That's good then, because I'm brilliant at that.
Do you have a scene cue? You also use a scene
God,
cue
do
here?
I have a... I don't think I do. No, I've got... did I use the academic in the end? I think I did.
Does anyone have a relevant scene cue?
I do have Devil in the Details, which is
does
the art of subtle sabotage. Tweak and modify things in a way to cause some misfortune or embarrassment down the line without drawing any attention to yourself.
If you can tell me the way in which you would do that. You've obviously planted the evidence already.
Yeah, well, what I'd like to do is to help you indicate that the contents of the paintings are in the car belonging to Tewkesbury.
Okay. I think we still need to persuade Doubtfully Maybe to go along with this. At the moment, she's not very confident as it goes. I think you could use that in the moment of selling the charade.
The only thing I've got left is extraordinary help.
Which does what?
It says I have a network of a strange array of characters. They're willing to help me out when I need it, and their eccentric interests means they can source just about anything.
Could you call some real ghosts?
Or some people who could simulate.
The people who usually do your materializations for you.
I suppose there might be a couple of guests who are in that network.
Yeah.
All of Marjorie's boyfriends could appear.
Bodyguards.
Sorry, bodyguards.
Employees, really. Oh yes. Perhaps if I've
Oh God, what have you done? What have you done? Several naked
look
oiled
past
men
and
show up.
maybe catch eyes with someone from my network, and I make the look of, we need to do the thing with.
There's somebody working the bar here who you recognise. He's got a few half-hidden tattoos up his sleeve, and you realise that he's kind of like in your occult circles.
Oh, fantastic.
You give him sort of the mason hand signal that you've developed as your kind of occultist. The big wink. He's like, he nods, being like, he shit himself again. We've got to do something.
And all he does is flick the lights on and off under the bar.
Yeah. That's exactly what he does. He flicks the lights on and off under the bar. And there's this moment of hush as everyone goes like, doubtfully maybe just turns to you and she says, did you do that?
No. I'm afraid the presence is aware we're about to call on it, madam. This is very common.
So you weren't a ghost, you must have been panicked.
Yes.
This poor woman's been addled by the ghost.
Yes, I think so.
I've been possessed.
I flap my trousers a little bit while she's not looking. Go, and smell that? That's the smell of a ghost.
Okay, quick, we must commune with it.
Yes, ectoplasm, that is. Very interesting. Of course, yes. Well,
so you're going to whisk her downstairs?
Wait, what's that? It's talking to me. I can hear it talking to me. The scandal can be found in the car downstairs, outside. Check the boot. What could it be?
How oddly specific, the ghost.
Yes, well,
must have some great unfinished business.
Terrible business, unfinished business. Yes. Well, we must go and investigate it once, so that poor soul can pass on to the next life.
You see Tewkesbury Light saying, "Well, we shouldn't do that at all."
Oh, but then I think we must.
But doubtfully, he's like very much on your side, and she's like starting to get. And you can hear him just starting to complain more and more and more as you begin to lead her up through a reception area. You can hear the hubbub starting to people start calling for the police in the other room.
Is there an issue, Mr. Tewkesbury Light? Why we may not simply see this through to its logical conclusion?
Well, but this is a farce. This is clearly a farce.
Do you not believe in powers beyond your ken? Sir?
I don't believe in things that I can't see, no, and I don't believe in idiot occultists spouting a load of nonsense about something in a scandal being in a car.
Well, I'm being guided. I don't know where it's taking me, but we're going this way.
He's heading straight for your car,
you totter off down through the hallway and up the stairs, and
please,
doubtfully
Spirit, go slower. In these heels, I can't keep up with you.
Doubtfully maybe is following on behind, being I don't know what's happening, but there's a ghost in its little kitten heels. Off you go. You trot up the stairs, and she follows you all the way outside. What happens out there?
I think it.
Can I help him with his quest?
Yeah, what does it do?
Well, I'm thinking I've heard him say the thing about ectoplasm.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I've been behind the bar and there's loads of fruits, like passion fruits and limes and things. And I feel like I can make some kind of faux ectoplasm that I can smear on the Midas's car to make it look like the ghost has navigated us there.
Okay. What does Devil in the Details do?
It says you have mastered the art of subtle sabotage. Tweak and modify things in a way to cause some misfortune or embarrassment down the line without drawing any attention to yourself.
Wonderful. Okay, well, in that case, let's say that yes, you do that.
Great.
Do you want to take part in this as well, or do you want to save yours?
I mean, I think if we've got... if you think I need to use it...
You don't need to use it at all. I'm just wondering if you had any ideas that would further...
I think this works.
Yeah.
I don't think we need any more, right?
Okay, so you very quickly, as this charade is going on, you manage to overtake Mr. Pusk in the hallway. His ambulation while wearing his little heels is maybe slower than you would like. So you manage to sort of race past into the street, making a big show of being like, we must get out there, and you manage to smear this sort of bits of sort of passion fruit and pomegranate and all various bits of gunk all over the trunk of this car.
Yeah.
And very quickly shake your hands off and move away.
Yeah.
Before, and you kind of you all sort of burst out onto the street, you guys are making a big scene to be seen to be looking for any sign of what might be happening. What happens next?
I think it's pointing to... But wait, what's this? Well, I know ectoplasm when I see it, and that's ectoplasm, I'm afraid, on the boot of this car. Oh, I don't know whose car this is, but I think this is a sure sign we need to look inside the trunk at once.
Whose car is this?
I do believe it's the car of Walter Tewksbury Light. Are they here today?
Walter Tewksbury Light is like stood, and he can see all this stuff smeared across the back of his car, and he just says, "This is clearly some sort of trick.
I understand. So
Someone has been vandalising my car."
Perhaps if you might open your car just so we can put an end to this nonsense.
I might open my car
If you wouldn't
so we
mind,
can
sir.
investigate a ghost.
Well, it can't have been us because you've been walking with us this entire time, Mr. Tewksbury Light. Surely you can agree that that's the truth.
I apologise for the inconvenience, sir. Maybe we could just put this whole nonsense to rest so we can all get back inside and enjoy the rest of the parties.
Roll persuasion.
Do.
Ooh, I mean, is there anything I can do? Subtle sabotage. I don't think there's... Well, okay. Do you have a guiding hand? You've secured the trust and respect of the gentry. They trust you implicitly. You can get aristocrats to agree with you or do your bidding, even if it's not necessarily in their best interest. That sounds
You
pretty...
can absolutely.
pretty fitting.
What do you say to Tewksbury Light to make him open the book? Because he's definitely aristocrat.
Yeah, I think... I understand this is a little unconventional, and my good friend here he's been through a lot, and I think it's very important. I'm kind of trying to whisper subtly. I think it's very important. He's had quite a tough day. He's had some issues with his. Well, it wouldn't be polite of me to say, but he's had some trouser troubles, and I think it would be very helpful for him if we could just see this through to its conclusion. I would consider it a great personal favour. I know I have no right to be asking this of you, but it would really mean a lot to all of us at the Phoenix Society. And I know we've had our differences in the past. I know that the Midas Society really is truly the place to be seen. But if you would do us this one favour.
Oh, I'm happy to open the boot of my car to show you just how insane a member of your club is.
Very good, sir.
Enjoy going back to Assis. He says as he turns and he unlocks the boot of his car, and as he whips it open, all these scraps of canvas begin to flutter out into the breeze around him. He's like, what's this? What's this? And you can see that doubtfully Maybe's watching them all sort of scatter into the air, and she grabs a few, like the end of the Crystal Maze, and she begins to look at them all, and she's like, These are my black cat paintings.
Goodness gracious.
Hang on. These are my sister's black cat paintings as well. Who's destroyed my art? Who's destroyed our art?
Who would do such a thing?
You can hear a hubbub beginning to sort of grow from inside the venue, and people begin to emerge out onto the street. And sort of leading the charge is Blowhard, but following right behind him is definitely Maybe. And she sees her sister, and they're both wearing these black cat masks. And they say, and she sees her sister grabbing these things, and she goes, doubtfully? She's like, definitely. What are you doing here? And she says, well, this is my charity gala. They were going to be showing off my art to the world. And doubtfully says, well, they were showing off my art. But someone's destroyed it. And she was like, I know, someone had ripped up the black cat painting. And she's like, yeah, someone ripped up my black cat painting as well. And they both begin to sort of hold bits of it together. She's like, I can't tell which bit is my bit. I've just got the bit with the signatures on. There's two signatures. And they begin to sort of grab different pieces of the art, and they're sort of on the bonnet of this car in kind of the smear of all the different bits of fruit and stuff. They begin to sort of reassemble it, and they're saying I don't know if I can put it back I don't know if I can put it back together. And they're both just panicking and freaking out, and they're saying, why has anyone done this? Why have you done this? And they turn to Tewksbury Light, who's just, I had nothing to do with this. And Blowhard's like, Tewksbury Light, did you do this? Did you whip up the art? Did you try to ruin the Phoenix Club's debut art gallery exhibition? And he's just, I didn't. It's like, but it was in my car. I had nothing to do with it.
What are you saying? That a ghost did it?
How ridiculous.
I'm ashamed of you.
I'm ashamed of you. And you can see that the sisters are both just very, very distraught about things, and they're sort of piecing this together. And you see that Sniffler kind of comes out, and he says, It looks maybe better that way. And the sisters are both just piecing this black cat image together from all the bits that they can find, and they're kind of hastily kind of sticking it to the boot of this car and making this hodgepodge of what might be kind of quadrilateralist art. It might be trapezoidite art, and they're sort of forming it together, and they say like, did you copy my work? And she's like, I never saw what you were submitting for your final exam. She's like, well, I never saw yours either. She's like, do you think we both stumbled on the same art style at the same time? She says, maybe we did. Maybe we did. Maybe we are quite similar. And she says, yes, we are quite similar, definitely. Doubtfully we are. And they just begin to continue to like piece these bits together. They said, you can kind of see that Tewkesbury Light has been accosted by a couple of the younger sort of bohemian socialites who are holding his arms behind his back. Pevensey has been dragged out by his ear, and he's just sort of screeching and making all this caterwauling as he's saying, it wasn't me, I had nothing to do with it, I didn't do anything. And then you see that Marvin kind of sweetheart appears, and he's begins to run off and try to find the police to resolve this situation. The sisters are just saying, you've kind of got the sheet still stuck in the back of your dress from where you fell, and as the wind kind of takes it, it sort of flops over a bin or something, and the word quota with an A, an E, and an R is displayed on this bin for a second, and you can see the twins just looking at it, and they say, quota. That'll do nicely. Quota. The quadrilateralist union of trapezoidite artists ever rallied. Makes perfect sense. And you guys sort of are there for the kind of cleanup as the members of the Midas Society are taken away by the police and questioned about why they destroyed this precious art. The two sisters are reunited and go on to great things in the art world as quota. And you can see that throughout all of this sort of situation, the paparazzis and the newsie who you saw from earlier are snapping copious amounts of images and writing up things. You're all interviewed as to your role in kind of uncovering the crime. You make a big show of the kind of the occult nature that a ghost led you to this great discovery. Your performance is talked about in great stead. Your ability at making a drink is spoken of, and there's a lot about Chuffy in the in the newspapers. You kind of unload a little bit about some of that pent-up resentment, but also you're written of really highly as a upstanding member of society and somebody to be trusted at all times. You have this. This all comes out in the papers, and your club begins to gain a bit of a reputation. And as you're sat arranged in the lounge room one time, waiting for the next challenge from the next rival society of Peccadillo to appear, a couple of members walk through the door, and it's definitely and doubtfully maybe.
Now, who'd like a nice mint juice?
Oh, yes.
I'm flabbergasted.
I say,
Why haven't you changed your trousers yet?
I don't know how much Chuffle pays you, but how about next time you come and work for me? My wife needs a new butler.
Hop on in, I'll give you a ride over.
So that brings our game of Flabbergasted to an end. Thank you so much to Flabbergasted for sponsoring this episode and making this entire thing possible. They have a brand new expansion called Mystified, which is available now on BackerKit, and you can find out more about that by clicking the link in the video description down below. And if you want to see more from Chaotic Neutral, click the videos that have appeared on screen right now. But to leave you, we will leave you what we always say here on Chaotic Neutral. Don't
shit yourself!